All right. Any We are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicenda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP. We're a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our hope, our desire is to help great designers find amazing players who love their games, help amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. We do a lot of actual plays of new and emerging indie systems. Some of those are coming up on Kickstarter. Some of them have already released. Some of them are old favorites that we just really want to sit down and play. But today we're playing a game that launched a week or two ago on itch that I've been super excited about, and that is Galactic second edition. I'm going to let the creator of that game tell you more about it in just 1 second. But before we do that, let's meet some of our other players. First up, we have our good buddy, Max. Max, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you on the internet.
Yeah, I also go by MV, use they, he pronouns, and I do screenwriting, game design. You can find me at mayvisit on Twitter and mvmv.itch.io to find my games.
There we go. And Matt, and you had your 1 year itchiversary.
1 year anniversary, yeah. It was the 6th of May. It's been a while. It doesn't feel like a year, but at the same time, it feels like an eternity. It's a milestone for sure.
And I bet we'll see Max a good bit. We already see Max a good bit on the channel, but I bet we'll see Max a good bit more over the next little bit. Real quick, tell everybody about Lux Collective, so if they want to go check that out, they know about it.
Oh, Lux Collective. You can find more about Lux Collective on luxcollective.crd.co. That's LuxCollective. It's a group of like-minded game designers who want to itch fund their games based on the Lumen SRD system. You can find all the details on the website. But basically, we want to help each other grow and sort of level up to be better creators, to make better content, etc.
Awesome. I'm super excited about it. We'll be doing a couple things featuring some of the different games that Lux Collective is working on over the next few months, so look forward to that. Next up, let's meet Aaron. Aaron, tell people who you are, where you're from, and what you do, and where they can find you online.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I am from Malaysia. You can find me online at Aaron Lime, spelled EHRONLIME. It's just a very bad misspelling of my name. And I make tabletop games at aaronlime.itch.io as well. I do a bunch of GM-less story games, but also a few different games. It's hard to explain because I've been trying to make a few different things right now. So yeah.
And we are going to work on getting Aaron's game, and I'm going to butcher the name all of a sudden. An altogether different river. Did I do it right?
Yes.
Did I do it wrong? Yes. I was like, it's rivers. It's different. Remember what it is, which I'm super excited to get a chance to sit down and play. I followed it during Zine Quest. It's a phenomenal looking game. I know you got proofs, and I'm super excited about getting you on to play that. But then last but not least, what y'all came here to actually watch is, and the person you came here to actually see their work is Riley. Riley, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, but also tell us about Galactic Second Edition.
Hi, I am Riley Rethal. You can find me on Twitter at Riley Rethal. You can find the games that I write at metagame.itch.io, and you can find Galactic 2E specifically at metagame.itch.io/galactic. So Galactic 2E, Galactic Second Edition, is a belonging outside belonging game. So based on the system set up by Dream Apart and Dream Askew by Benjamin Rosenbaum and Avery Alder, respectively. So it is a GM-less game. It doesn't have dice, doesn't have any kind of randomization really. So you're using tokens, you're spreading them around. The big innovation that I've kind of added with Galactic 2E is that not only do characters have like weak and strong moves, in this they're called vulnerable and strong moves, where they give and take tokens. Also have moves where you are giving gain. What did I say? You spend and take tokens. You also are giving them to other people and to other and to the pillars, which are like the setting elements in other games. So there's a lot of tokens flying around. That's kind of the big thing about Galactic 2E. Flying around in space, one might say.
And then people have
Oh, it's
mentioned
based on Star Wars. It's
it's based on Star Wars. Riley, I don't know if you have the ability to, but if you are able to either move your microphone a little bit closer to your mouth, talk a little bit louder, or turn yourself up a little bit. Casualty said you're a little bit softer than everybody else.
Is this better?
That is better.
Okay.
Is that if that's going to be super uncomfortable for you? Don't worry about it.
It is fine. My computer hates microphones, so like this is a new setup for me. So we'll see if it works.
Wait a minute, this game's about Star Wars. Never mind, we're canceling the stream. Disney, reach out if you want to send us that money. No, I'm super excited to play. I am a Star Wars fan. I will be 100% transparent. I am a Trekker first, like from way back. I know. But that said, I can critique what I love. But I love Star Wars also too. I'm super excited to play. Also, there's a thing right now going on called is it G2E Jam, Galactic Second Edition Jam. So we've got people who are making content for the game right now. Tell people a little bit about that. By the way, the link to the game, if you look at the one right below Riley's face on the screen, it'll take you right there. Also, I'll drop it in the chat as well. But tell us a little bit about the jam, Riley.
Yeah, so there is a game jam on itch.io right now called the Galactic 2E Jam. The hashtag is hashtag G2E Jam, which I realize sounds kind of like a car, but yeah, so it's a bunch of people. Like, I've been really surprised by how many people have like done stuff for it. You know, I wasn't really planning on doing a jam because I'm not a big like personally, they don't usually do anything for me to be like do a thing in this specific system. So it wasn't really something I was thinking about. And then like a couple people just put up playbooks for Galactic 2E like right when I published it, and I was like, oh, would people maybe want to jam? And like a bunch of people have joined and already submitted stuff, and like it's really, really cool to see like how my game has kind of like inspired people, and like how other people are taking the stuff that I've written and like putting it on its head and like adding more stuff, and like it rules.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I've created one. It's not up. I was hoping to have it up by this stream because commerce, but I'll just post it out afterwards. If you go to my itch page, it'll be there. I'll also link it in the video later on in the notes. But I also know MV's working on some darts. I don't know if Aaron's getting in on just playing or if he's going to do any design for it. But I just want to shout out like Jeff Stormer's The Elder playbook is, I think, one of the crispest things I've seen so far, but I have not looked at all of them. I love what it adds to the world building, and I'm super excited about it. MV's actually taking the character class I made out for a test run today, I think, and so it's going to be the first debut of that also too. So with that said, Riley, I'm going to kind of hand things over to you in just a second. We use lines, veils, and the X card on the channel, though. We talked a little bit about conversational play. I'm going to let you cover that. But we always have a strong line against sexual violence. If there's anything else that people want us to put a line over, which is something that doesn't happen in our game, even if it happens in the universe, or veil, which is something that may happen in our game, but we treat delicately when it comes up, there may be more of a conversational warning around that. Does anybody want to name any of those things in advance? We also had a conversation about this before stream so that we could do it privately about any other issues also too. But we like to make sure people know this is a normal conversation to have. So anything that people want to add to that in advance, just as kind of a warning or a heads up?
I was wondering if like PG-13 makes sense, sort of like a blanket.
As a rating level? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And so
sort of like Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars.
It's always
so just one hand getting cut off per session.
One hand getting cut off per session. All of R2D2's language is bleeped out to make sure we stay underneath the rating level. All the important things. And so so if like I said, everything else we're going to kind of navigate and play, which kind of brings us up to Riley, as I hand it over to you. Talk to us a little bit about how we're going to play the game and specifically the conversational nature of the game.
Yeah, this is fun. This makes me feel like I'm a camp counselor again, because this is what I would do for my RPG electives. This game is very much a conversation, and we want to make sure that everyone has a part in that conversation and gets to kind of have equal say over where the story is going. So when we are bringing up plot points or character beats or anything else, we want to frame them as questions as opposed to statements. So like, let's say I'm making a character, and I think it'd be really cool if my character was rivals with Aaron's character. So I'm not going to be like, hey, Aaron, we're rivals. Because then Aaron might be like, I don't want to be rivals. That's not interesting to me. Or like, I don't like that. So a better way to do that would be to say, hey, Aaron, are we rivals? And then Aaron could be like, no, what if we're this instead? Or maybe, how about you think we're rivals, but I think we're best friends? Or whatever, you know?
Mhm.
It lets everyone have a say in the story, and it's good. And a bunch of 11-year-olds can do it, so you can too.
I love it. I just dropped in the chat. I'm going to play either the Elder, the Nova, or the Scoundrel. The Elder is by Jeff Stormer. It's like an Obi-Wan type character. The Nova is a Force user, though the Force does not make an appearance in this unless Disney sends us money. Or the Scoundrel.
It's the
or
space.
yeah, the space which I love. Like I love this. That is the concept. And so somebody said the Nova if there isn't one yet. Somebody else said the Scoundrel. Keep it coming while we get everything else set up. But Riley, so I've never it's a GM-less game, so you're not in charge, but you also know how the game works. And I also love that right now chat is messing with me because they've all just said different things. You kind of how do we start? Like, just kind of walk us into the game.
Yeah, so generally we would start with, I mean, now that we've set expectations and everything, we would all pick playbooks. The rules do say to read them out. I don't know if since we kind of already have an idea of what we're playing, I don't know if we need to do all of that, especially because there's a bunch of extra ones with the jam.
Sure, I think reading them out, maybe, I mean, at least the opening and then the tips for how they play, maybe getting a sense of the moves. I know Aaron wanted kind of a sense of what other people are able to do, which I think is good for the conversational nature of the game. Everything we've chosen, I think we can kind of do in a second. Maybe does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Does somebody want to start then? Who already has theirs picked out while I pull up? It looks like more people have said the Elder now, so I'm going to play the Elder.
Making notes. I can start. Since I'm picking one directly from the core book itself. So I'll read the do you want me just to read the one that I'm playing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will be playing the Defector. The Defector used to work for the Mandate but got out. Their power comes from their compassion, determination, and will to change. I am playing to explore the ways my time at the Mandate has influenced the way I think, and I will try to allow my character to learn and grow and encourage others to do the same. I will also try to make my character larger than life while also being followable and relatable.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I will be playing the Oath Sworn, which is another I want to call them legends.
expanded universe. Yeah.
Legends.
It is, it's by Eli Sates, who's very cool. And
who's watching right now?
Oh, hey, Eli.
Or was.
So the Oathsworn is a warrior bound by a code and culture. Their power comes from their sense of honor, stoicism, and loyalty to the clan. And the tips are: find out what brings honor to the Oathsworn, explore conflicts between the code and goals of the party, and make your character larger than life while also being fallible and relatable.
Awesome. I'm going to be playing the Elder. The Elder lived through I guess, Iridian? Is that how we're pronouncing it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It comes from Eris. I was looking through a lot of space words.
That's right. I also love the chaos nature of Eris. I also love for the feel also too. So the Elder lived through the Iridian War, and here they are again, hoping to help the next generation succeed where they failed. Their power comes from their insight, mentorship, and acknowledgement of their past mistakes. So I'm going to try to own the mistakes of the past and give path to a better future, guide the other characters, but give space for them to surprise me. Make your character larger than life while also being fallible and relatable.
Nice. I will be playing the Companion, which is an unreleased class by Tony. Class, playbook, what am I saying? The Companion is always around, often misunderstood, but stalwart to a fault. Their power comes from their loyalty, their timing, their subtle support. Pick another character, They are your partner. You're connected to them through thick and thin. And I guess I'll be picking someone when we will be creating the characters.
That's fun.
Mm.
Cool. What does it say underneath the tips section?
Oh yeah, follow poorly thought out plans without question. Put yourself at risk to let others show off. And get separated from the group in ways that let us use hidden skills or knowledge.
Awesome. So we've introduced characters. Riley, what are we going to do next?
We can choose all of the things on the second column. We can talk through all of that however we want.
Yeah, so if anybody's not familiar with the concept of a belonging out, belonging game, or lots of games that use playbooks have this method, there's a couple of kind of pre-selected things. Do we usually go over those, or do we just all pick them and then share them?
Whatever you want. I don't know.
Aaron, do you already have yours set up?
I have a little bit. I guess I'll go over what I have so far. I think I'm going to go with someone. I'll skip over to my last draw. I haven't decided on my look or styles yet. I think I'm part of a whole squadron that revolted at once. Yeah. I actually think I might need to like get into like the motivations of why the entire squadron revolted. But otherwise, the two that I am and two that I want to be, I am calm under pressure, and I am able to fight against my former comrades. But I am not. I want to be at peace with my past, and I want to be devoted to the liberation. I think they're not fully bought in yet. I think the squad revolting or rebelling, not necessarily to join the liberation. Like it's more about what we're fighting against than like what we're fighting for. And so I think we're just trying to figure out whether joining the liberation is even the right thing for us. Or for me personally, at least. So that's all I've got so far. I haven't got on the relationships and the look yet.
Cool. Riley, do you know what you're doing for the Oathsworn?
No, I'm like just reading through this now.
That's fine. So am I. So I mean, one of the looks for mine for the Elder is a face hidden behind a long beard, and that means I have to stay on brand. And so that is 100% the look that I am choosing. I also, there looks like there's also the way of kind of speaking here. I'm going to pick one of those, maybe antiquated speech patterns. We'll see how well I play that out or not. And then I'm going to choose 2 to 3 wardrobe styles. I obviously have an antique weapon, a weapon from a long forgotten age, for sure. I will take an obscuring cape as well, because that sounds dope. And I will then pick a archaic noble's wear as well. So I'm a nobly dressed, obscured cape, antique weapon wearing elder behind a long beard. I'm going to look at my scars a little bit more in just one second. 2 I have achieved and 1 I have failed. I'm going to say that I have fought the mandate to a standstill is the one that I have achieved. I'm going to say I have rallied the people behind me and struck down a leader of the mandate. And then I am going to say I have failed to keep my friend from succumbing to evil. And so, because that sounds good. And then I'll come back to relationships also too. I'm going to look through these scars of the Iridian War, which is cool. The Elder gets to kind of establish some of the fallout of the war that's been going on as in play also too, which is one of my favorite things about the entire book. And so,
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. MB, have you had a chance to look at anything?
Yes. So the first I kind of wanted to pick is a partner. And I was wondering if it would make sense for the Elder to be my partner, and like maybe we had history like from the war, or we have met somehow after it, and I think it would make sense. Just
I'm 100% down with that, and I actually should change that to probably be a conversational question. identify somebody and ask if they can be your partner, if you can be their partner. Because
Mhm.
I like kind of naming that in the book. Yeah, no, I'm 100% down with that. I love that. So
Yeah, and about the look, I've thought about being a D20, basically a 20-sided polyhedra. That is smooth and bronze, and it has like lights and diodes all over it. And the little triangles that are like on the sides of a D20, they like open up and can store like stuff inside of them.
I love that.
And I have hidden knowledge of the past, insight born of observation, and a secret message for someone hidden in one of those triangles, I guess. And I never speak of my inhuman strength because I think I'm just like prohibited to use it because like of my programming, like it may harm someone if I use it. So that's why I don't speak of it. I'm good at technology, navigating, and halopoly the game because halopoly the game it just sounds like it's so good. Um,
I forgot I wrote that down until this moment.
but I also have, I think, an interesting relationship. It's that there's an anxious loved one who is searching for me, and it's just very interesting that maybe it's like a previous partner that I had that like I've like strayed away from, and now they can't find me. So I think that's very interesting.
Cool. I was spending the entire time listening to that and not looking at the scars of the Iridian War. So what I'll come back to that in a second. I need to choose my relationships. I'm going to choose a dramatic nemesis from during the war.
Is that the friend that you failed? Is that the friend that you failed to save?
I like the idea of that. So I'm totally open to that. I also like the potential idea that they are the one who caused that person to fall.
Oh.
Either of those things I think are fun. And so, but yeah, I definitely view them as a part of that backstory. Let's go with that. Actually, let's go with that because then I'll pick the other one being a commanding and analytical mandate commander. I embarrassed in combat, and so we can have I'll establish maybe some tension on the other side if that makes sense. So I've got a dramatic nemesis and a let's go with analytical mandate commander who I embarrassed in combat, defying their best calculations. So, all right, now I'm actually going to look at the scars. They're so good, and there's so many of them. One that I know jumped out to me before was spy networks grew vast and terrifying over the course of the war. That feels so exciting to me, and so we're going to throw that one in. So there's tons of spy networks out there. Those who fought are cast aside and forgotten by the very people they defended. And then maybe mechanical weapons of unimaginable power still dot the galaxy.
Ooh. Could you say the first ones again?
So we've got vast spy networks grew vast and terrifying over the course of the war.
Hell yeah.
Which that one, when I read it originally, I was just like, I want to play around with that.
I love a spy.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I said was those who fought are cast aside and forgotten by the very people they defended. So like we have the war that is created all these places of intrigue, all these networks, all these other things, but then the people who are on the front lines are completely forgotten by these systems of power that were created, and there are still these mechanical weapons of unimaginable power that dot the galaxy.
Okay, that solidifies my character. Obviously, they're a spy or a performance. Of course, please.
Love it. I think that's all of my things except for relationships. Oh, sorry, except for questions. Does anybody else have pieces that they still need to share?
Yeah, I have all of mine. I'm just really quick gonna look at the name list that I made for a Party of One episode. See if I can find something good. Oh, okay. I'll just go with Helix Astray. That's good.
I was thinking the name.
Helix Astray, she, they. She has a so I'm the Oathsworn, which is like kind of based on like the Mandalorian and probably other things. I'm not a real Star Wars fan. I don't know. So
just drop Star Trek references as much as you can. We'll just drive everyone.
I don't really know Star Trek.
I'm just messing with you. And you said what was the name again?
Helix Astray.
Helix.
The two words. Helix, like DNA.
Yeah.
And astray, like
that's so good.
Getting lost, I guess.
And then can you just pull a name for my elder? Can you grab if you have a list there? I don't have a good one.
Oh yeah,
sure.
same.
I mean, it's in my notes app. I can send it in the.
Either way, I'm already looking at a whole bunch of different things. So if you just want to pull a name for me, that's great. Because I've got stream stuff up and character sheet stuff up and other things up. So.
All right, so here's some good. So the first name on here is one of the first names that showed up when I just went on random namegenerator.info that I absolutely love. It's Napoleon Kitchen.
Napoleon Kitchen. I'm happy to be Napoleon Kitchen.
Fantastic.
How could I not be? It's spelled in a slightly futuristic way.
Sure, of course. I also have Venora Vale, Lyric Heavenward, Ivy Demur, Esta Sunspot, and then some other. That's a phone number. And
I like just taking the name Sunspot for mine.
Hell yeah!
Like Sunspot sounds like a good droid name. Yeah.
Yeah, I do need to know what like you're a something D20. What are the other elements in your model number MV?
Sunspot, like something like ICO 20 maybe.
ICO
like
20?
That would be a cool ICO 20. That's a good number. Like a icosahedron 20-sided.
Yeah.
His ICO 20 model. The ICO 20
Yeah.
models, you know, they were critical to the success of the
Iridian War. Getting pretty old now.
Casualty suggests anybody needs a name. Schmarmy Fizzletop. Also, Jaylay says make Stargate references to make everyone confused. Wouldn't confuse me. Also, love Stargate. You put a star in front of an item or a verb, and I'll watch it. Like I don't care. So. And I will fall in love with it. And so, I don't even like Star Trek Enterprise. I watched the whole dang thing. I waited till it was all out and watched it all at once, but I did it.
Powerful.
So.
I can read. Oh,
I was going to say, Aaron, do we have a name?
I'm looking through my name list as well.
That's fine.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Cool.
Just picking.
I can read my stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so Helix has a hidden face and gloved hands. She has ancient bracers carved with sigils and a dramatic half cape because I saw that and was like, I have to. And the wardrobe style that was taken from her is the sigil of her clan. I think the clan is probably like a. How do I do this without making it just sound extremely fashy? I think that it's like a spy network that I don't know if it was necessarily part of the Liberation. It was probably part of like a different, older, kind of like less radical, or like less radical in terms of politics, like resistance movement. I guess like what if the ones who weren't the Jacobins in the French Revolution then just kind of like became a secret order, is kind of the vibe, and also were cool spies. So I don't know what the sigil of the clan is in that case, but it was taken from her.
We can. You don't have to know it until we find it. Like that's the best thing about it. So are you thinking more mercenary, or more?
Yeah. I I guess okay, probably the thing I just said isn't like I definitely am taking inspiration from like the orders of knights in Europe and stuff, and the way that they just kind of kept existing.
Cool. Yeah. So you can still join some of them today. It's great. I love that. Like it's a vestigial like holdover from a previous war that has made it all the way through this war, but it's primarily an information gathering network. Is that the vibe?
Yeah. I think that there's probably like they're like they do all the cool stuff, all the cool war stuff, like they're spies and they're assassins.
I love it. But even during normal times, they just keep on going, and it's a known thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect.
Just like if you're rich and you need some you need some like corporate espionage, you can hire them.
They'll do it.
Or whatever. If there's some people who took over your planet, you can hire them and they'll take care of it or whatever.
Are there members of your I was gonna call it order. Is that what it's called? I can't remember.
Sure.
Your clan. That are like still dedicated to the original ideals that was founded on? Like, is there like a split internally where some people are super mercenary and other people are like, this is the way, for lack of a better term?
Yeah, probably. I was kind of thinking that the split because so the next thing is the two principles you believe and one you disdain. And so I think the ones that I believe are never reveal your face and to surrender is to bring dishonor, which I'm thinking less like about like honor and more just like don't surrender,
Right.
And then the one that I disdain is the armor of an oath sworn is their life. And so I think there probably is like a thing about like the people who want this to be more of like a we are soldiers and we go to war versus like we're cool mercenaries.
I love that. So there's a little bit more of
what you said.
A little bit more of a practicality around never show your face, not because that's essential to the role, but also because that's a practical reality of being a spy.
Yeah.
And something you're committed to.
It doesn't have like clunky armor. It's just like like hoods and stuff.
Love it.
It's the assassins, right? Like the Assassin's Creed
Assassin,
hood.
Yeah, which figuring all that out, I'm wondering if I want to, because I have one more thing, which is choose one goal you pursue and one your clan desires, which I'm wondering if I want to maybe switch around.
Cool. We in just a second we're gonna ask each other some questions. I think I've got everybody set in the same way on screen as they are on our call. Yes. So we will just use I can't think right now, like left being clockwise, right being counterclockwise. Just FYI, since we're all stacked on top of each other, more or less. And so but yeah, cool. Anybody else have anything else they need to share as far as character creation goes?
I picked a name and a look.
Hit me with it.
Yeah, so I'll be Esther49. I think they tend to go by 9. Well, okay. I think people tend to call them 9. They try to correct it to Esther4 because he picked his name after he left the mandate, him. And he thinks Esther4 is a very cool name. But people keep forgetting and just call him 9. Which he also doesn't mind. He just thinks Esther4 is cooler.
This is
it's
classic.
Also cool that he has a number name. Like that's also cool, but like not in the same way he was thinking.
Yeah.
Initially.
This is classic you were in sports in high school vibe. Like people just call you by your last name and you're like, yeah, I have an actual name that I like, but it's fine. Like it's okay. Like you can just call me by what's on the back of my jersey all the time. That's cool. So.
Yeah, so he has questioning eyes and curt speech. His wardrobe style is dresses in bright colors, a permanent mark from his past. He just keeps a patch from his squadron, even though the squadron has been excommunicated or like disbanded, like officially disbanded, struck from the records because they rebelled. He still keeps a patch on him as a point of pride.
Oh, I love that so much.
And a many-pocketed vest. He just keeps lots of stuff with him at all times. I think he has a survivor's kind of mentality of like, hey, we were hunted down by by the mandate because we rebelled. So we don't know who to trust. There are spies all around everywhere. So I got to keep stuff with me at all times.
There aren't spies. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But he's a bit of a romantic in the sense that like the practical choice would be to dress in discreet clothing, like try and like not stand out, but he chose a name. He chose Astafor as a name.
I love the vibe of this character so much.
He's just like he can't help himself because like the whole time under the mandate he couldn't express himself. So it's like I want bright colors. I'm gonna put purples and teals. He's basically the 90s.
I love him so much.
I do love that like your character went from like stormtrooper uniform to full on Lando Calrissian over the top, like out there individual. So like I'm 100% here for those vibes. I think that's so good. So awesome. S49, Sunspot, Helix, Napoleon Kitchen. So cool. So we've got all of those set up. Do we want to do questions next? Is that a good next thing, Riley?
Yeah.
Cool. So part of what you do as far as this relationship establishment is you ask one person to the left one question, one person on the right the other question. This kind of helps fill out both the world and your potential relationships with each other. Let's see. So I'm going to ask. I'll go first unless somebody else has one they're just really excited about. So my questions that I can ask are: what legend have you heard about me? Why don't you want me to be involved with the war? And why did you seek me out to join the fight? How have you been training? How have we been training together lately? These are all very good questions, and I can either ask MV or Aaron. So MV, why don't you want me to be involved with the war?
Oh. Well, okay, I think Sunspot is gonna be more of a caring companion. So I think they just want you to stay out of it, and like you're the elder, you're kind of like you've been through a lot, and they just want.
I'm 100% down going without being in any way, shape, or form ageist because I don't want to play into that. I am 100% down to go like very geriatric on my character, like to be like in the Yoda phase of age, like not necessarily that old, but in the like I move slowly, I'm no longer quick, I'm not, like I'm down for that if that's a direction you want to head.
I just think that they want you to sort of rest while you can, like because I think they've been with you like most of like what they know, what like their time in this universe they've just spent with you, helping you and stuff like that, and they see you sort of like getting tired almost.
You're back.
I'm back.
Like, are you worried about my physical health or burnout, or do I have a terminal illness that you're worried I'm not going to take time to rest?
It's a combination of burnout and physical health. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. Awesome. And then I think this is a good one to kick Aaron because I think this will give us a little bit of stakes also too. Why did you seek me out to join the fight?
I think like I mentioned, like Astafor has a bit of a romantic streak in him, and he heard stories of the old, like you're like some veteran from the previous war, right? And you fought against the mandate.
Yeah, I fought against the mandate, and I was a big part of like fighting us to a standstill, took out a leader. Like, yeah, I have a reputation.
Yeah. So I think he was asked by the Liberation to do this, and this is one of the reasons why he wants to work for the Liberation, even though he's not not fully bought in, is because to have a chance to work with Napoleon Kitchen would be a great honor, right? Like yeah, like they look up to you, right? Like he looks up to you as like an old hero, and wants you to be a symbol for the fight.
Okay, cool. No, I love those two questions because they also create an immediate tension between like MV's character's motivations and Aaron's. So between Sunspot and Istapor. Love it. All right, those are my two questions. Let's just go clockwise. So MV.
Nice. I have a very kind of basic question. How are you able to understand me even though most people can't? And I think that goes to you, Tony.
Yeah. So I did 100%. Again, the companion, the book you read, I wrote that as a like Chewbacca / R2D2 one.
Yeah, and I want to
go ahead.
Establish how I speak so you'll know.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah. I don't
Please
want
tell
to.
me it's random tables.
Oh my gosh, you've got a display screen and it's just random tables. It's very speak and spell.
Because I mean, you can go random tables, but you also can go the 8-ball that you shake.
You shake
it. And I just like right now for me, I imagine it's like the icosahedron with a bunch of like flaps that like stuff comes out of it, and I think it's more of this than like beeping and booping. It's more like, okay, what does like slot number 11 mean? What does slot number 4 mean? And kind of the way I turn, I think has some meaning, sort of.
I love the idea potentially maybe that like your way of responding is to flip over to different things. Like it's a very limited interface, which does have a random table aspect to it. It's just printed on on your body, right? Or
maybe have a cheat sheet.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that is funny. I'm almost tempted to say I don't. Because I feel like that's just a really fun like one-shot play, or that I only halfway do. Like I understand half of the random table, but not the other. You
just guessed really well.
Do what?
Guessed really well. Like that's how
I do. Yeah, I actually think like we don't have a Nova in play, which is essentially the Force user of this. So I'm going to say like I am like that is a part of my background. Like I am somewhat attuned to the space between, though not maybe necessarily a full-on user, and so you're
force sensitive.
Yeah, I'm force sensitive. But it is just mostly guesses that happen to be right. Like I do like that idea of maybe even that I've never actually been wrong about my guess, but I actually still have no real idea what each thing is. Like it's like an 80% correct understanding.
I like that. And my second question is, I keep few possessions, but you gave me something I cherish. What is it? And I think that goes to Riley.
Yeah. How do you keep things?
So yeah, I'm this icosahedron, and the triangles are kind of slots that I can like bring out. I think it's the size. Like if I'm like the size of, I don't know, a meter, maybe a meter and a half, so not like super big. And these slots are almost like a mail tube thing. If you.
That's so good. Oh, perfect. I wish that was R2D2 and instead. Just man, what did I give you? That's such a good question. I don't know what I would have to give.
Oh, really? A fun potential. Can I make a pitch? Is that all right?
Yeah, go for it.
So a fun potential interplay, and this is dumb, and if you don't want to do it, that's okay, because but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it in a long one. But one of the fun conceits about the companion is having hidden stuff that is important. And what if this is a little bit of a stretch? What if Sunspot has your sigil somewhere rattling around inside?
That's funny. I was also going to suggest that, except like in a different way. Which, I don't know. Maybe I like the idea that it just like was an accident though. Like I guess my interpretation of that would be like it was taken from me in that like I had to send it somewhere. and so I've given it to Sunspot to like.
It's like putting something in a closet and you forget.
I think the direct way could be really cool. I also even think it's interesting if it like went to someone and it's supposed to come back to you, but like Sunspot doesn't know it, like it's a roundabout way. I think either one is equally fun.
Yeah, something like
yeah. So we're all affirming each other. I think go ahead and call it whichever way you think is the most enjoyable for your character.
Yeah, I think whatever it is, I don't know whether I used to like I know that it was at some point with Sunspot. I don't think that I know that it is now.
Okay.
Because I think it wouldn't be fair to just be like, oh yeah, it's in the droid. Like that's not it wasn't taken from me then.
Right.
Okay, and then I have a question for Sunspot, which is why did I almost duel you? Because I think that's really funny.
Okay. Could it be? Can you repeat it? I need to think about this.
Why did I almost duel you?
Maybe it's connected to me like turning over all the time. And
am I just really bad at understanding?
It might have been that maybe while I'm turning around, you did something. Like okay, like pulling the rug under me while I'm like turning over. I don't know, something very silly for some reason is coming up to me.
Yeah, no. We just have a weird rivalry. I like that. They like to pull pranks on each other.
Maybe you're almost always about to duel.
It could just be that. I almost picked the whatever it's called, principle or what is it called? Yeah, principle. Everything should be settled by a duel or something. That, but I could just always be ready to duel either way.
Like, how do you duel in a cathedral? That's what I'm imagining.
Maybe like I do. I don't like the idea because it's you said you never speak about your whatever strength. I also think there's an interesting play there where like you just open up and ratchet like all these like weapons pop out. And so no, I love that.
Extremely powerful.
And then Riley, what's your other question?
Yeah, so my other question is to Estafor, which is I scrolled up. Which is how did I break the code for you? The code being my two parts of it at least are don't show your face and don't surrender.
Is the surrender or the face thing more interesting to you?
I don't know. I think they both could be interesting.
Yeah. Because I was thinking whether you helped us out by surrendering somehow. I just can't remember. Or I just can't can't figure out how that might work. Like you whether it's like you realize that like we weren't like my team, my squad, as we were like defecting, or you realize that we were defecting and like you surrendered to us so that we could capture you and like use that excuse to escape or something. Like you played a big part in helping my squad kind of like escape the mandate, and you had to break the code to do that. But like was for something that you deem worth it, I guess.
Yeah, I like that. I like the idea that maybe like my like me and a couple other people from this order were like sent by the mandate to be like, hey, these they're called detachments. That's like my stormtrooper word, which I really like. That's probably my favorite fake Star Wars word that I came up with. Like this like troop of detachments is being weird, and we need people to look over it. And then like I decided to like help you instead. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that it's like a trust building thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like, I even wonder, like, was there a level of like kinship in that? Like, you don't take armor very seriously, but you had these like armor clad like attachment that you were facing, like tasked with hunting down. I think there's some really interesting stuff to unpack potentially as we play.
Yeah. It's just hard to like imagine the details. I mean, this could be a you know, like be something we explore later.
Yeah.
And fill in the details if we want to.
So.
But yeah.
Also, I will throw out there, I did type this in the chat, but if somebody's watching this now or later, I never want to underpay an artist, but if you want to make some Sunspot ICO 20 fan art, I'll go ahead and throw out that I will pay somebody $25 to do whatever level of minimalist art you want to do to make an ICO 20 droid.
I will do it, so you have to pay me now.
That's fine. If you want to do it, I'll
getting out my sketchbook.
I'll commission it and I'll add it to the play. If it's down with MV, I'll add it into the playbook. We'll edit it on later on. We'll make it the official canon anti-canon of the ICO Sunspot.
Again, legends, please.
Legends, yeah.
Legends.
Awesome. Great, Aaron.
Okay. I think. Yeah, I think I have to ask Riley and Tony, right? So I think I will ask Helix. What did I do recently that made you finally feel like you could trust me? That's actually changed a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because of the previous question. That was going to be my question. I think I'll switch that to why do I trust you more than anyone else here?
Oh, okay. Well, let's just do the other code thing,
Mhm.
right? Which I think is you're the only person who's seen my face.
Ooh.
Code breaking across the board.
Yeah, I don't know if like you want more to that. Maybe it was also like during that fight against like whatever other mandate people came, like you know, my hood came off or something, and you were the person who helped me up. You know, we have like a bond, a strong bond.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Like, a moment where you've been like knocked to the ground and your hood is off, and like his character hands it back to you. Like we see this like crunch, and we're not sure whether it's an ominous evil person or what. That's a good core Star Wars feel right there. And so,
yeah, but it's the thing is I trust you more than anyone else here, right? It's because we've shared this like vulnerability, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And I guess to Napoleon, I would ask, what did you teach me recently? I look up to you like a little puppy dog and say, "Oh, teach me something."
I'm trying to figure out how, like, I'm gonna name two things. One that's funny and silly, and I just want to say, and the other thing that we'll actually use in narrative. I just like that is one of the initial reasons for a semi level of trust is like, yeah, this guy kind of reminds me of a younger me. Look at that style. If only. And then I gave you a couple of fashion tips. They're way out of date. They're from a totally different age. Like, however, I think they still totally vibe with your overall look. And then the other piece is that I actually taught you. Let's see. I think I have recently been teaching you about maybe it's been specifically like mandate tactics, like from the war. Like so basically I've been like maybe more strategy. So less tactics, more strategy. I've been teaching you like the way the mandate thinks for encounters. Because I'm not sure if I want to teach you skills yet, so I've just been focused on like here's how you think when you fight the mandate. Like here's how you fight the mandate to a standstill. Here's the techniques and patterns that I use when trying to disrupt them.
Yeah, it is really interesting because like S4 it has that inside knowledge, right? So it's kind of like knowing the on the ground level maneuvers, but not seeing how they fit into the larger picture, and you provided that.
Yeah.
This is like that kung fu thing of like, oh, I learned these skills from reading the manual, but like I need a teacher to actually translate the poems in there for me into like the proper forms.
Yeah.
Um,
I also
that
I
kind
I also just kind of like the idea of, since it's also like the foil of your moves, it's like it's
Yeah.
also part of like, look, here are all the holes in the way the mandate has trained you.
yeah.
And here's how we constantly exploited those holes. That there's
Yeah.
this, that it's basically, in my mind, it's me correcting things. But there is this
Yeah,
like
yeah.
on the ground, like I love the idea of like this on the ground experience being elevated towards that higher one also too.
It's like, do you realize that all your rifles are calibrated wrongly, and that's why you
That's
always
why they
miss?
shoot in a circle. And
Yeah.
so, it's just, yeah, I just like take your rifle and I just slightly adjust it and hand it back to you, and then it changes everything. You're all of a sudden a sharpshooter. And so, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Riley, what's next for us?
So now we can do our pillars.
Mm-hmm.
Which
And for anyone who's not familiar, so belonging outside belonging games, like oftentimes it's not uncommon that like spaces or other things will have a level of control that people play also, because it's a GM-less game. So when you're doing certain things or in certain spaces, there's a mix in it. It's called pillars in this game.
which I changed from setting elements because I wanted them to be clearly differentiated from places, which is the thing we're gonna do after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our first one is the space between, which is like my version of the force. So we're gonna
The
choose
spores.
Yeah. And for a lot of, so we each pick one of these to kind of control, is that correct?
we don't have to. Like, these will kind of come up every once in a while, and so you
Okay.
can kind of just say, oh, I'm gonna make a space between move, and then do it. You don't really need to be like, this is
Cool.
the one that I have. So we're gonna choose 2 desires. The choices are solidarity, difficult choices, balance, intense bonds, and uncontainable emotions, solitary training, enlightenment, revelation, and unity with those who came before. Which is interesting because none of us are super.
Space between. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a lightly spaced between. I think for us, unity with those who came before has a good feel, even though we've got some generational things at play. So I would throw that one out as a potential desire.
I like that. I also like solidarity.
Yeah, I was going back and forth between those two. And so I think doing both of those, we can. It's going to give it a lot of really like specific feels, but I don't know if there's any other ones that would make sense. Any other thoughts?
So what was it? It was unity with those who came before and solidarity, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All right, we're good. We're good with that then.
Cool.
Yeah. It's quite funny. I think the early version of the force was called like the force between all things.
I did
yeah.
not know that, so I mean that makes sense.
Cool.
And then we have the mandate, which is
The mandate.
Like the Empire.
Mhm.
We're also going to choose 2 desires there. We have untold destruction, unquestioned supremacy, military expansion, an end to the Nova, which is like the Jedi. We haven't really mentioned that yet. Hierarchy and order, dominion over the space between, and restoration of an old order.
I'll make the pitch for hierarchy and order just because like I feel like that's what S4 is rebelling against.
Yeah,
I like that.
definitely.
I think it's
What
interesting.
were you fighting against, Napoleon?
Yeah, no. So I think the idea of hierarchy and order is great. I was also drawn to restoration of an old order, which could be really interesting also to see some of these ideas like of unity with those who came before versus restoration of an old order seems very interesting. But I also like the idea as like dominion over the space between. Because that's not what a lot of us are focused on. I feel like that creates a really interesting, like, you send people who don't have this to go solve this, right? Like, I think is a really interesting potential take.
I mean, we can definitely say all three. Nobody can stop us.
There we go. Cool.
So, hierarchy, Dominion.
So
And
somebody
for
else
anybody who's out there who doesn't have the playbooks, isn't familiar with the game, like the moves, there's moves for each of these, right? So space between, invoke awe, reveal an old secret or new truth to somebody, create an unexpected connection between people, and all those things that you give tokens. But like the mandate lets you create threats. So like foreshadow a larger target, a larger threat, put someone in immediate danger, intercept information or supplies, and then you give tokens to different people based on different things. And that's a great way to incentivize players to actually put people in jeopardy and peril, is it's actually advancing the story and gives you a little bit of an incentive for that. And there's tips on each one also too. It's a really cool setup that creates a really seamless way to create like flow within the game itself.
Thanks. So the next one is deliberation. If somebody else wants to read the desires, go for it. Anyone else?
Sure. Retaliatory violence, long shot missions, hope renewed, military strategy, imagination of a better world, ideological discourse, and working together. I do like working together, long shot missions, and imagination of a better world. These just sort of stand out to me. So.
I like imagination of a better world, especially in contrast with the two that we've already kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what about looking toward the future?
I love the idea of long shot missions, especially for a singular play of a game.
Exactly,
I think it's great. I also love that there's 100% the ability to make the liberation just a discourse group. Like you could basically be like, we want to imagine a better world, and then have ideological discourse with this group that's trying to immediately kill us and overthrow us, which is somebody who lived in Seattle for a decade. Like that's the local scene a lot of the time. And so it's like, we could go out and help people, or we just talk about it a lot. It's fine. Like, there are plenty
I wanted the liberation to represent the left, and
yeah.
Any possible version. You can also just have it be retaliatory violence and military strategy, and just be an army.
Yeah, I do love the way they are written. Like, though one obviously has like protagonist and antagonist overtones each, like they are written in a way that you can make either one as crystallinely pure as you want to, or as horribly evil at its core as you want to. But it's some of the motivations that are really driven by it. So it's phenomenal. So moves are complicate someone's vision of freedom and gain a token, offer help and solidarity with or without a cost, introduce dangerous plans and ask others to participate, ask what does a better world look like to you and give them a token if they answer.
And the last pillar is the scum and villainy. Criminals.
Each of these has a long explanation of what they are, and then scum and villainy has a 3-word one. It's great. I can read them. Uncomfortable bargains, understanding, the jackpot, secrecy, strings to pull, escape from this livelihood, fresh blood, enough credits to get through the week are the 2 desires. Or are the desires we can choose from.
I'm wondering if we can sort of pull some ideas from the like spy network stuff we've established, and like maybe the criminals are kind of like also somewhere in that web, sort of they're mixed in. Yeah. Secrecy, strings to pull, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like strings to pull. Yeah, because I like the idea of like the criminals are trying to infiltrate both the liberation and the mandate, and like, look, let's just run things. As long as there's war, we can profit on the sidelines. Let's compromise a few people on both sides and just play it out, so that we will profit in the end.
Yeah, that's kind of actually because I was saying that I wasn't sure what the last my last little pick list was yet. And so I
Mm.
think I am going to go with my goal is to shatter the mandate. And so I'm kind of more on the liberation side.
Mhm.
But then the one that my order pursues is, let's see what makes the most sense here. I mean, I guess like make enough money to see tomorrow, but instead it's just make money.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. No, yeah, I think my character is definitely like old liberation for sure. And that, but also like has enough awareness of scum and villainy to actually have a little bit of crossover. Like, is not like a true necessarily like a white knight or anything, and certainly knows how to get their hands dirty and knows how to engage that for sure. But we gotta smash the mandate.
So are we going for secrecy and strings of pull for scum and
Yeah.
villainy?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Secrecy's the other one.
Yeah, so moves are foreshadow a larger threat and gain a token, put someone in immediate danger. Oh, that's the wrong one.
That's the
Yep.
Offer help or information at a cost, introduce or invite betrayal, get someone involved in a dangerous scheme, complicate someone's worldview. And so
That's fun. This is such a different scum and villainy than usual. I love it.
It's like the hot cartels, right? Like they're just trying to
Yeah.
to run everything in the outer rim. Like we run this place.
yeah. I also keep trying to remember the one from the new Star Wars stories that always gets thrown out, but I can't remember what it is right now. Chat or comments later, correct me. So we've got our pillars kind of fleshed out a little bit. What do we do next, Riley?
So now we kind of get to figure out our story. We can, if we want, roll for some places. We could make some side characters if we wanted to. I'm assuming that we want to do some kind of long shot mission.
Exactly.
So maybe figuring out like where we're supposed to go or who we're working for or something like that would be a good starting place.
I think that's great. Yeah. Do we want to start with a location where we're getting the mission, or do we want to start in transit to wherever we're going, having already figured out what that is?
I have a pitch for where we might be going,
Hell yeah.
and like coming off the scum and villainy prompts that we just saw, I think it would be cool to like infiltrate a casino or a cartel or something like that. Because we talked about how they have this like web of stuff and strings to pull. And
Yeah, so that could be like a gala. That's kind of my
that
rich
too.
assholes one.
Let's go to a dance.
Yeah, it could also be bureaucracy, something like that. But gala, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting location because you could have like it's kind of like infiltration, and we have to like pick sort of do social stuff. You have to talk to people and maybe find out about, I don't know, we need to either talk to someone or get information for someone, or sort of these, I think, missions that could be interesting from deliberation.
All right, let me scroll down to gala and we can flesh that out. Okay, so for places, we have 2 things to do there. We're going to choose 2 to 3 aesthetic elements and 1 to 2 things that are rumored to be there. So for the aesthetic elements, there are fake smiles, genuine sneers, offensively expensive suits, vaguely upbeat music, idle gossip, and beautiful and extravagant decorations.
If we're going for a casino field, we gotta have beautiful and extravagant decorations.
And upbeat music.
And no clocks.
No clocks, yeah. And so, I even wonder. So you said you're like, so you know, there's like a lot of gladiator themed like casinos and other stuff like that. There's a lot of like this drawing from like the opulence of the old world. I even love the idea, and if this is too dumb, that's fine. What if it was themed around wherever we're going, themed around like the most antiquated vision of the order that you're the clan that you belong to.
Love that.
Like that, it's from the roots of it, right? So like it's the equivalent of like Crusades, they're casino, but it's whatever your order is,
Crusades, the
like the casino.
Oh, no.
There's people in cosplay,
Good. I
right?
love it.
Like the security guards are dressed like members of your order.
Yeah, I think it certainly like nerfs some of the sneak in thing, but I think it makes the sneak in thing really funny because you may look too authentic. Like,
Yeah.
rather than and so
Yeah, no, that's very good. That's really funny.
so yeah, I always love a heist. So like I'm 100% down for casino
Ooh.
gala heist.
I mean, a part of that could be like if the mandate wants this return to like a more civilized age, they're like harkening back to like, oh, people used to fight each other with laser swords all the time, and that was great.
Everybody
and-
loved it.
Yeah, and everyone loved it. And so at every hour on the hour, there's a laser sword, there's a demonstration, there's twirling.
We've created a fancy Renaissance fair.
Yeah.
do we want it to be funny? Like, I mean, maybe funny for us either way. Do we want it to be funny, or do we want it to be like deadly? Like, is this a gladiator pit, or is this a medieval times dinner and tournament?
I mean, droids could be doing it theoretically. That could be repairable. Like, because they have to do it every hour, they have to like keep a constant supply of like droids who would fight. So they just sort of bring them in and then repair them and then bring them in again. And so
Like,
God, that's
droid battles
Enemy
every
front.
hour on the hour, and then like big ticket like horribly dark events once a week, but then also evening events that are humans but maybe not deadly. Scan the gambit. I do love the droid grinder. There's some interesting stuff there.
poor Ico
Hey, extra
20.
to fight the droid.
That's traumatic.
So, what? Oh god, the winning droid each week gets a chance to fight a person for their
Oh no,
freedom.
we have like a whole lore for this. We aren't even there. We have a lore for this fighting.
So I love that that's where we're going. Do we have an idea about why we're going to go there?
I mean, is this Galactic 11? Like, is this a casino heist? That's the question.
I like it being a casino heist. I think especially with some of the stuff we've got in play, there's some fun to be had there. I wonder if it's if maybe one of these droids, like what if these people just like take droids, like they capture droids off ship, they throw them in there. What if one of the droids that's in the pit has some sort of information that is essential to
Yeah, I
So there
really
is
like that.
a second part here, which is rumors, which might
Mm.
kind of help illuminate that. So the
Mhm.
rumors for Gala are at least one person who recently committed a war crime, poker tables that could bankrupt a mid-sized planet in a single hand, a liberation spy in deep cover, and your old celebrity crush.
Well, the spine deep cover could be the droid.
Oh, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
I just really like that idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
How many of those do we need?
1 to 2.
1 to 2. I'm so tempted to just
we,
be like,
we can start with one, right? Like just the
Yeah.
no,
liberation
I'm just
spy
tempted to
and
be
deep
like,
cover.
my celebrity crush is there also too, and we just discover that when we get there. Emphasis on the old celebrity crush. No, yeah, I think that's great. So as a reason to go, I think that's phenomenal. And then do we? So that's where we're going. Do we know how we're getting there, or do we establish that as a separate location? Do we want to work our way backwards?
I think we can start there, right? Like,
We have landed in there.
yeah.
What if we're
Sure.
on the planet but not in the casino? Do we want to
Yeah,
pick do we
exactly.
want to pick a natural place or another city place to have to engage with? I think doing a couple of scenes just to kind of showcase a few of the things would probably be a good idea.
I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was
Alan.
gonna pitch like we could start in the casino as this like in media res kind of thing. Like, you know, we have a plan. We are trying to like extract this this droid deep cover agent. Well, not even deep cover. We're just someone who is in a a difficult situation. We got to try and extract them from this gladiatorial fight thing, bring them to safety, and they have some sort of like plan that will help us crush the mandate. I mean, I'm kind of starting with the assumption that all four of us are working together here.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
You're
I
very
think
team,
we've
yeah.
got that.
we don't have to
Yeah.
suss through how we don't like each other or any of the normal campaign.
We have a
stuff.
rivalry with Helix.
And so what if how about this? What if it's not on a planet? What if it's like a spaceport? And
It's
so we
space
have to
station
land at the
casino.
spaceport, navigate the spaceport, and get in. Like, so we start immediately. Like, I like the idea of starting like in the moment. But what if the in the moment is like us landing at the spaceport rather than us going straight to the gala?
There is a spaceport one too if we wanted to do that.
Oh.
And so, because I think that'll give us
Play.
2 good scenes that we can play
Mhm.
through. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. Do we also want to do the spaceport place then? Spaceport.
I think that sounds good.
Sure.
Right. So we can choose 2 to 3 aesthetic elements: painfully long lines, diverse cultures and fashions, glaring announcements, secret passageways, overpriced snacks, and some time to breathe.
Overpriced snacks.
If this is the Vegas station, right? If this is Vega-S station, then I love
Vega.
overpriced snacks and long lines. Like this is a place that people come. It's an attraction. You come here to like make money, lose money. And yeah, I love that.
Oh, I see. Okay, it took me a second. Vega. Okay.
Vega-S, yeah. Like that.
Anyway.
And so it spells
Um,
Vegas.
No,
I was telling the chat. I know you got it.
Oh, okay.
And so,
That's-
Anyways, choose 1 to 2 rumored to be here: a huge shipment of smuggled goods, an important politician in their entourage, the only direct flight to an out-of-the-way planet, and news from home.
Did we get here by like public transport? Now I'm thinking, like,
Extremely casual, just in the corner of the subway train. Subway spaceship.
yes, subway spaceship. How do they call them?
Of course. I mean, say what you want about the mandate, but their ships really run on.
their mass transit system is excellent.
And that's why I'm thinking of like the one ticket. What was it? Ticket away from home. Basically, the idea that like we're dependent on like a train being here when we want to run away or something like that.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Like it's a
Definitely.
timed thing.
Like we're gonna
Yeah.
come in on a train. We've got 8 hours to get in, find the droid, like get them out, and then get on
And
the next
if
hyper
we-
train out.
Yeah, if we don't get the train, we're like stuck.
Yeah, it's like the only direct flight to an out-of-the-way planet, except the flight is only once a week or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Basically.
I also
Yeah,
like that's a
like,
cool
if
security
this is a
measure.
high. Oh yeah. If this is like a high rollers casino, right? Like,
It could
yeah,
have in like
there
an
could be a
hotel
way-
and not an hotel, but basically everyone who wants to come here has their own like private ship, and the public spaceship is only for workers of the casino, like that stay here anyways. So
Ooh, I like that. I like the
that's
idea
cool.
either of like you all land somewhere and then you've got to get on the hyper train to go to the casino as a security measure. Like it still can be fancy. it
or
still can
could be
nice.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, or I like the worker approach also too. I think narratively, like one will lead itself to sneaking more, the other will lean itself to like timing or like schmoozing more, potentially, like having to fool people, whereas the other one's going to be like sneaking in and just making it through. And so, does anybody have a strong feeling one way or the other?
Is this a rich people train? That's the question.
Yeah, is it a rich people
Um,
train or a working class people train? That's the
Or a staff train. Yeah.
I like rich people train. EDH.
We're just pulling all the high tropes we can. We're gonna do a train job. We're gonna do a casino job. And we're gonna get back on the train and do another train job.
I
No,
I've said it before. My rating scale for media is number of trains and understanding of fascism. So we're getting up there.
yeah, there we go. Well, let's do rich people train then. And do we want to start on the train?
Yep,
Hell yeah.
All right.
for sure.
And did we answer the questions about? Yeah, we did, about the spaceports. So, do we need to answer any questions about the train? We're just gonna
The
keep
train.
on working our way back.
I'm sorry, I don't have rich people train.
Don't
as a
have
place.
rich people train.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Someone has to write this now.
I mean,
So
listen,
have we
I
disguised
recommend
ourselves?
So
Yeah.
let's figure out what we're doing. You do have caravan on here though, which we could
It's
probably.
not really the vibe of caravan, but
No, I understand, but it's got some like I think it's got some. There's some like it's got some things like whispered secrets, right?
I mean, I do like Curious Children. That would be fun to play with.
Oh,
No. Curious Children and Whispered Secrets on the rich people train, and so.
oh my god.
Cool. No, yeah. So yeah, what do we have a cover? Are we coming in as ourselves? Are we using my reputation as a noble to front our presence on the train? What are we doing?
I'm
I'm
gonna
in full order cosplay.
okay. I want to steal from Star Wars and just be the butler droid.
Yep.
Because I think the mail tubes that I have in my icosahedron are perfect for wine bottles, obviously.
So are you coming on as like my butler, or are you coming on as a butler for the train?
Just a butler. I'm just pretending I was there all the time.
Okay.
Like nobody will
Okay.
notice.
Yeah. In that case, then I will suggest that, like, yeah, you can be Tony. Napoleon can be the noble, and Helix could be like a bodyguard or something, and Astapor will be like a valet.
Awesome.
Astapor wants to dress up, is the thing, right?
Like it's just the excuse to wear a
Yeah.
very
It doesn't
fancy
matter.
ballet costume.
Like, yeah. He's dressed up like fancy. Like even if he's just a valet or if he's the noble, he's dressed up like he's ready to go. He's put on 4 coats, layers.
Each one fancier than the last.
Yeah. A sash. What else? What else does he have? Epaulettes.
Yes,
What other
good.
what other bullshit things?
Do you have a hat? or something?
Pauldrons for no reason.
Definitely a hat because he doesn't want to be recognized. A
Right.
hat and sunglasses.
Well, I was gonna say like a fancy mask.
Yeah.
It's not a masquerade at all, but like, like you know what? I love it. Cool.
In fact, it's like he wears like a fascinator. Like it's not even like a proper hat. It's just like, oh, dude, look at that. Don't look at me.
So Riley, for your character, are you coming on as like my bodyguard in cosplay, my associate in cosplay, or are you coming on as like a staff member?
I think that
Ooh.
no one would be able to know because if anyone tries to talk to me, one of you will have to be like, she's really in character. She's not gonna respond.
No,
to
that's. I
me."
think it's more like what do our characters know so that we can
Oh,
like what are we explaining to people? Like, oh yeah, this is my sister. She's really into it.
yeah, exactly. Perfect. Great. I think also that I can't like come up with a good image in my head for like what the armor looks like, but I think whatever it is, she has like really like a genuine like authentic one, and it's not that it's like, oh wow, that's like that looks better. It's more just like it looks different than what people the way that like Vikings didn't actually have the horns.
Yeah.
The horns.
Like
Yep.
And she just like is kind of bitter about it the whole time. It's like that's not even right. It's not even accurate.
Like it's which you don't say to anybody. You just there's this constant running internal dialogue about. No, I think that's the exact fun of it. Like a lot of the other ones are bigger and bulkier and not as well made and wouldn't work in actual combat.
How are you supposed to do assassinations in that?
So
Yeah.
It's like her version of like the ridiculous armor that they give women in video games, you know?
yeah. So
How are you supposed to wear that?
we've got so we're on the train. Do we need some NPCs?
Oh, if we are already on the train, I
We're
want to
on the
take
train.
the mandate, the pillar,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
and I'm gonna make a move to foreshadow a larger threat, and then that gains a token for the mandate, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
okay.
So there's a token on the mandate. I'm just making a note
Yep.
there. One on the mandate. Um, you, Napoleon, you mentioned that you have a relationship to a what's the name for it? Like an officer or something that you
Yeah,
humiliated.
he's a master strategist who I humiliated him in battle constantly.
Yeah, he's there. Um,
His name
uh,
is Waterloo.
God. He's also my if it's okay with you, I want to make the pitch that he is also the commanding officer who wants me dead. Who because I have an analytical commanding officer who wants me dead as well.
Cool.
So if I can make the pitch that they are the same person and they are there on the train, and they are acting as like a well, not acting, but like they're there on duty supposedly as they are visiting this casino for some reason or other to meet someone, and they don't usually travel unless like it's something really important. So we know some like mandate shit is going down at the train or the casino, and they are looking around and they spot you. I don't know how you're dressed actually, Napoleon.
Normally, like
Oh.
we're using. I think Napoleon is here as Napoleon Kitchen, like
Great.
Oh.
as Sir Napoleon Kitchen of the ancient house of Kitchen, and in my normal swagger. Like I think part of the conceit of me is kind of the like I can operate in a like it's known that I fought against the mandate, but I'm like the structure is still divided enough and we've won enough like we push things off enough that it's still like I can operate as a normal human person in my capacity. It's just a known thing that like there's a war happening still, kind of. And so so yeah, I think
Okay.
it's just I think I'm out in the open. I think it's just like this is a thing a noble would normally do, and Sir Napoleon Kitchen has come in the auspice of who he normally is, and everybody else is entouraging around me, and so
Yeah.
and so I think like all I was trying to look up analytical real quick and see what the things in analytical.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That is the one that's missing. I forgot to put it in.
Do you know what the things are on that, or we just do?
Yeah,
We wanna...
let me pull up my Google document.
Cool. You look up that real quick because I wanted to figure out how they're going to ask. But I think like this is a rivalry because I've always humiliated him. Like I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of this guy. So like I send. I think my response would be to send a butler droid over with a fine bottle of wine for him and his traveling companions.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I wanted to ask, like, do I know Waterloo? Do I know them?
Yeah, I think we've been traveling. What companion did you choose, or what relationship did you choose?
Oh, my relationship is that there's an anxious loved one who is searching for me.
Okay, that's excellent. No, I think we've been together long enough that like you 100% know Waterloo. I've faced him numerous times. You probably not only have heard the stories, but you've been there for some of them.
And I flip, and and you understand that it's a question mark for somehow, and I sort of point a bottle that says like poisoned wine on it or something like that.
And I'll say no, just the really strong stuff.
Okay. I nod, like turning a little bit, and like scuttle away.
By the way, playing nonverbal characters is one of my favorite things, or not like it is so much fun. And it's fun to play with them. If people out there have never done it, like never in an ableist way, but like playing with a crab who has a large knife or a droid who can't communicate with everybody, it's super fun. And so, yeah. So we'll send a bottle over there. Did we figure out what analytical does yet? What are the
Oh
analytical-
yeah, I sent it in the.
Yep.
If we want to like make this officer a Waterloo as a character, as like an NPC, we can do that also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should. I think that's a good. It'll be a good ongoing, thing. So
Well,
Big
they're
bag.
here now. They're and they will recognize you soon enough.
Yeah, it will
Um,
take me a minute to get through the crowd to them with a wine bottle.
Good. Yeah. So what is their other trait? Do you think?
Oh, so we picked 2 traits, was it?
Yeah. So you take
Yep.
you pick 2 traits, and then you pick 1 to 2 moves from each of the traits.
right. So
Ah.
And
So-
all of the rest of them are in the PDF.
yeah, analytical will be one of those traits, right? So we're just gonna pick a secondary one. I mean, I think we have to pick the odds are against you as one of the traits from analytical, right? Like that's a thing that Waterloo constantly says, and then I prove
Yeah.
Waterloo wrong. And
Yep.
Love
so,
it.
let's see what other piece do we want to build?
You can always just roll too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to make the pitch for commanding, just because they were
Ooh, okay.
previously a commanding officer for
That
my
makes sense.
squad,
Cool.
my previous squad. And they probably are pretty I like the first one, tower over others, literally or metaphorically. Like they rely on their presence more than like actual physical threat.
I like that.
Like the reputation, right? Like the towering over them as with the reputation of this like genius strategist that's only lost to Napoleon.
And I also think block someone's path forward and give them a token will be like useful as a
Yeah, actually, yes.
What-
for
what
what's
was it?
happening here.
block someone's path forward and give them a token from commander.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I'll fully acknowledge both of our presence on this train by sending that bottle of wine over.
Can someone else take the mandate? Because I think I want to jump in
Uh,
as Esther 4.
I
I
think
as
I
well.
can.
You can go for it.
Yep.
I'm typing up the.
Well, yeah. I'm just dropping the mandate and picking up Esther 4 here, because I am going to run from a problem instead of facing it.
Okay.
I'm going to gain a token for that, and I'm going to convince, or not convince, but like I see Napoleon make this move to like send wine over to Waterloo, and I'm like, are you? That's just gonna blow us this whole mission over. I'm going over there. This is not what I signed up for. This is way too dangerous. I thought we were going to have a good time, rescue a friend, not tangle with Waterloo.
What I'm trying to figure out my fake British accent, my antiquated pattern of speech. Waterloo is not the same problem that he was in the past. I mean, the mandate is dramatically weakened to the point of almost a non-existence at this time. I can't imagine that this is actually going to become a problem.
You might think so. You've tangled with them and succeeded. They've killed my friends, right? Is it hot here? I take off one of my coats. It's hot. It's really hot. It's getting really hot. I'm sweating. I'm going to the loo. Okay. I don't want to be here when whatever shit you've got planned like goes off. And Esther 4 leaves to the toilet.
I think at this moment you bump into Waterloo, and they're like, excuse me, and I maybe do the
bumbling your way again through Waterloo, are you?
Oh, I recognize that voice.
And I'm going to take a token for protecting the younger generation by putting myself in danger. What brings you to the hypertrain today? I couldn't imagine why you would have business on Vega-S.
And I think like they're like really confused because they are not expecting like you especially on this train, but at the same time they like try to keep composure because that's their like military way of like they need to keep their expression like at all costs. So Waterloo is just like have business on this planet, and I do not think you're authorized to be here. And I think there's gonna be like some gesture to the guards, and I'm gonna put you in immediate danger and give you a token.
Okay. I can't imagine why a non-mandate run casino would be any reason that I was not allowed to be. By what authority do you seek to detain me?
Damn, that's a good question. By the authority that this train is actually the mandate's jurisdiction while I am on it. I know some bullshit. Look up law number 76.
I want to, let's see, I'm looking at my moves right now.
You say I'm looking at law 76?
Yeah, I'm looking up that I'm just scrolling through the most recent mandates. I am going to use a lateral move to create an opportunity for someone to succeed spectacularly and give them a token if they take it. I'm going to lean over and like look at the data pad he has out for for Law 76 or whatever. Show me that. Where is that again? Oh, in this subsection here.
Here it is. Okay, like it's very awkward because you got to stand close.
And I want to create an opportunity for I'm trying to think for Helix to act right now if they want to.
Oh,
because I was actually gonna say Sunspot, then I realized that would be really complicated for Envy.
Yeah, it's out of the scene.
Yeah, and so so I realized we were gonna have to pass things off again. So I think creating an opportunity for you to act before these guards get a chance to is what I'm setting up here.
That's very good because I like the way that mechanic works in conjunction with like the way that it feels where you're kind of like passing it off to me because I'm gonna take that token and do the strong move, take someone by surprise. What's like the way to do that though? Just like knock Waterloo out? Like
so I think
kind of funny.
Yeah, I think there's a play there. I think doing something to the guards and all of a sudden leaving Waterloo like unprotected. I think even just posing as a local authority. Like, I mean, Waterloo's overstepping bounds here. I think we've kind of established, and so you could pretend to be a fake guard from the casino too. So I think there's a couple different ways you could.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of just knocking him out. And then like the two guards that are coming for you are like, what? I don't know.
Cool.
Just like, oh, so where's this? Wham.
Yeah, I think Waterloo just falls and to the ground, but maybe it wasn't like a true knockout hit, but it was like it was quite painful, and Waterloo just like lies there. Oh, guards, help me, please. And yeah, the guards like just rush and like, oh my god, we need to get this Waterloo to emergency right now. And like do you hide from them, or sort of like what's your action after this?
Probably just like keeping a fighting stance to like
Okay.
Like not have them. I don't know. Like I'm fully fine with like everyone knowing that it was this person in this very authentic order.
I don't have any more tokens.
Yeah,
Um,
I think maybe at that point, like as they bristle up, like that's when I'll activate my laser shield, which is the which I was known for wielding to great, because I'm not going to do a lightsaber. It still makes the exact same humming noise though. Which I like has like spikes around the edges though, like for slamming into people, and I just like not make it even full size. I'm just gonna like wow it out like a little bit to maybe oh, I'm looking at the wrong playbook, to show, because one of my strong moves is to show a flash of the hero that I used to be, and so this is going to be me like signaling to these guards that they should just take their commander and back off.
And is this like, do we have to? Because I'm imagining that like there are local train people or something, and like everybody knows that. So like, do we have to run out of the train like a stop early or something?
I don't know. I think the question is, how are they responding to this? Which maybe is that maybe a scum and
That's it.
villainy?
That's it.
Can I-
villainy.
So,
Go ahead,
I
Aaron.
want to try something here. So Scum and Villainy has no tokens, right? So the move to offer help or information at a cost, do you need a token to trigger that?
Yes, right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's all right.
if they
So
do give them a token.
yep. So I'll do another thing first, which is I'll as Esther was like moving towards the toilets, he finds a hand on him quickly. He's like, hey, what are you doing here? And I will find an ally in an unlikely place and give them a token, and it is someone who is a criminal. So I can give the token to the Scum and Villainy pillar.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yep.
Mhm.
Which that kind of like flashback happens, and then I think this lady, like this very well dressed, very well put together lady, like appears with a bunch of other guards that are dressed up like the Order, but in the obvious like cosplay version of it, and they are the actual train guards. And like she comes in and like calms everyone down and say, okay, nothing to see here. Someone from the mandate obviously is feeling very uppity today, and like moves
so
towards
this is
Helix.
like a local versus federal authorities.
Yep.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. She moves towards Helix and like I think she like just slaps Helix, I think. And says, look, you
Ow.
haven't even gotten your uniform right. Don't do this in front of the paying customers. Like even if they are like she's pretending that you are a proper guard. Even if they're acting uppity, there are ways to do this discreetly. We will talk after this, and then she kind of like motions everyone, and waits for you to kind of like accept.
Love it.
Yeah.
Did we come up with a name for this character yet? That's fine. If not, that's fine. I mean,
yeah,
we just,
you
like,
give me a name.
let's
Fortune.
let's just go with like Serena. Like, let's go with that.
Yeah, Serena.
What a real human name?
Oh no, it's spelled totally Star Wars. It's not a real human name at all.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it's Zurich.
it's Serena, like, or whatever. Like, yeah. So I think what are a couple of things that we want to associate with Serena or Serena?
I think they're dangerous.
Dangerous. What else?
You mean,
Because
like,
they are gonna start offering help at a cost, right? Like
Right.
if we take her help here, it's not gonna come cheap.
Oh no,
we
100%.
don't need to necessarily create like a whole NPC if we're
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
scene. Like we can do that if she comes back.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely walk with her. That's
Mhm.
fine. You get the whole like the little. I just imagine while you're narrating that like the way in Full Metal Alchemist like Alphonse will have like little things on like his head to explain his emotions and stuff. Like
Yep.
imagining just her being like not saying anything but just having one of those little like anime angry things.
Yeah.
Love it.
Big
Yeah.
sip drip.
And she's actually gonna to take Napoleon into like, okay, like you sir, come along as well. Let's sort this out.
Of course, madam.
Mhm. All right.
So is she leading us to the front of the ship, back of the ship?
I think to the back of the train. There's like a security like subsection, right? Like surely if there's any problems, they have a secure compartment of the train. She deposits Waterloo safely in one of them to kind of like sleep it off with the other like mandate officers. And sits in front, and you see sheepishly Estefan is already like, hey, sorry about that. um, and she basically lays out that, hey, yeah, like I don't know if we haven't met before. I'm Serena Fortune, I think.
Right.
And you're about to get into a whole lot of trouble there. Um, would it have been worth it?
I have a question while you're doing it.
Yeah.
How many people are in this room?
It's just the two guards that were there, like dressed up like order
Okay, 2 guards and
members.
Serena.
Yeah,
I just
so
wonder
it's
if
three.
Sunspot can take them all out.
I think she didn't bring Sunspot. Like she didn't realize that
Yeah, that's
Sunspot is part of
exactly
this.
because
Yeah,
Sunspot
yeah.
is like in another direction.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Yep,
actually,
So I
like,
think
it's one of my favorite things about the playbook is we might find out what Sunspot's been up to this last
Yeah,
little bit in
yeah.
a second.
so. She thinks it's just 3-on-3. Like it's Esther Napoleon, and Helix against her and her two toughs. Yeah.
I kind of want to do this if it's okay. I'm gonna take Sunspot, and I have a token because I have be off screen when the action is happening. That was my vulnerable move, and I'm gonna spend it to be in the right place at the right time. And I think it's you're sort of like sitting. I think it's sitting in this room.
Yeah, like benches.
Yeah.
Felix
And
isn't sitting, but everyone else can.
I think she's sitting. The two guards are like standing up. And
Okay.
I don't know. I like Esther is sitting as well. Yeah.
I think on the roof of this train, you hear a familiar flipping of an icosahedron.
I'm trying to find a good way to like Foley this, and I don't know.
Just roll a d20.
I know.
It's perfect. And
yeah.
I think the lights go out momentarily. Like they just cut out. And I think it would be very funny if they just go out and like there's like this cartoonish 5-second like and then they turn on and like the guards are tied up and Serena too, and like Sunspot is just shrugging with triangles.
Dang it. I lost my d20. Yeah, no, that's not helpful. I love it. Good job, Sunspot. I don't know how you do it.
He don't.
And so I think I think moving all of them into the secure cabin is the way to go at this point in time. Like start like taking their bodies and maybe
I mean, they're still like awake, right? Like,
Yeah, they're awake. They're just like tied up. They can't
Yep.
do anything.
yeah, oh, I understand. I'm just saying, like, I think if we're gonna like, I guess what's the next play? Because if we're gonna just get off, are they gonna follow us? What's the
Yeah,
what's
I
Serena
think
doing?
yeah, because I think Esther 4 is gonna be like, oh shit. She's part of the cartel that runs the casino. You know this, right?
uh,
Like and he basically kind of like slaps, well, like punches Sunspot and say, ow, it fucking hurts. Like we we are in even more trouble now, Sunspot. This is like we could have listened to her out. I owe her a lot of money.
Sunput is just gonna like turn around and like this pose, but imagine it's a D20.
I love it. So I'm trying to think. How do you know this woman again?
Like I said, I owe her a lot of money. When we escaped from the mandate, we needed someone to keep us, like, get new identities for us. She runs one of the biggest cartels in the sector, and we still owe her for that. And I believe she was about to make us an offer of a job. But it might be best if we just run now, fast.
I'm trying to think. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm all about the train being. I think if we want to coincidentally hear like a bing bong like noise
Yeah.
overhead, that's probably a good time for that. What were you gonna say, Riley?
oh, I was more gonna say, I think if we wanted to continue the scene, but like we definitely can just leave. That's
No,
fine.
I don't want to just cut, but I think I'm just naming, like, I think saying like, hey, we're gonna do a couple more things and then be getting off the train. I think that's a good
Yeah,
timing.
okay. I mean, I think like he likes to just like walks over to like over Serena's, tied up form and like, crosses her arms and is like, well, if you were gonna make a deal, it looks like we have a bit more leverage now. And just like it's kind of like I was
Yeah.
gonna say I don't know how you can motion if you can't show your face, but like, the implication is that now she's gonna talk and say what her deal was.
Yeah, I think I think the way she phrases it is like as if she still has the upper hand as well. It's just like, look, you are on my turf. You might have us now, but the moment you step off this train, I can have all of you ejected into into the cold depths of space, and you can freeze there.
So Aaron, I think you should take a token. I know that you've been triggering this, but I do feel like you've gotten us involved in a dangerous scheme. Like we were already in a dangerous scheme, and you got us involved in another one, which is one of Scum and Villainies things.
More dangerous.
If you have not yet, I want to go ahead and name that. That's kind of what I was thinking through earlier when I was.
Yeah, so it's not so much offer help or information at a cost, but like it's to get them involved in a dangerous scheme. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it starts out one way, ends up the other. What can you do?
And then sometimes your droid blocks everything out and knocks everybody to the ground. And not that we know that's what happened, but like
2021, am I right?
So, I like the
I'll take that token.
Yeah. I like the idea of us putting like I like the idea of us putting Serena in like a sci-fi steamer trunk, like a levitating one, and just floating her around with us for a little bit. Like, oh, like this is our way in. Like this is we can change into guard costumes, and this can be our way through the spaceport into the casino. Thoughts?
I mean, or is it like that she just demands to like keep watch of us, and we have to untie her and stuff.
I don't know, but that feels like I mean, like she could also get away. Like my thought was we can either leave them behind or potentially like take her with us. I mean,
I just think because she's terrified of Sunspot.
Does she know that Sunspot did this?
I think who else?
The film language was clear.
Yeah. I think she's
feel the triangle.
We can frame it like she's putting on a front in that like she can eject the humans out into space, but Sunspot can come back.
I think we can strike a sort of deal with Serene. Like if she doesn't go after us, Sunspot doesn't. And maybe we can sort of do something for her if she gets us in, essentially.
Yeah.
But now we also have we are on the same level now, as opposed to before it was just like she had all the leverage.
Got you. So what if it is what if there's something in the casino? Like she works for the cartel that runs the casino.
Yeah.
Is she maybe looking to move up? Is there maybe somebody in the casino that she wants embarrassed or whatever that she can offer us as like another thing we can do while we're in there? Or what is the job?
I just want to pitch the mandate as a possible.
Like, what if they're closing in?
Yeah.
She wants to get rid of whatever Waterloo is doing here and stuff.
So do we want to foreshadow a larger threat again?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
they're taking control of all of these big public spaces where people hang out and lose a lot of money, I guess. I don't know.
Or
it's
maybe
not like the best example of that.
Maybe are the mandate's coffers running low? Like if the war is turning against them and this is like they're at this intermediary space, maybe this cartel is specifically like they run casinos. Like this is Vega S, but it's like the 20th, whatever the letter S is, like Vega Casino that spans this area, and like they're trying to take them 19th. Over. The 19th. I was just guessing, and I'm surprised I was as close as I was. And so, what if they're trying to take over some of the key Vega casinos, and like tax them or just take them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I think my pitch to refine that is that there's someone in the cartel who is working along with Waterloo, and is like willing to like sell this not sell the casino, right? Sell access to and throw in with the mandate. But I think Serena is opposed to that because she wants the freedom to operate as she wishes. Right, like she doesn't want to be leashed to the mandate, or more like if we are going to enter that agreement, she wants the upper hand. She doesn't want the mandate to control the casinos. She wants dirt on the mandate as well, so that she can kind of like balance the equation there.
Okay. Do we want to make it just the person who runs the casino as that member of the cartel? Like they basically are turncoating. Is that the concept?
Yeah.
Cool. How about Chazar is the name? Cool. Cool. So is that the job offer?
Yeah, I think I established that she's the head of the cartel. Like maybe Chazar is like the second in command who's like uppity and wants to take her place and has made this deal. And while she has authority on the train, this casino is his. Like he has autonomy here, and basically even the guards here, like she was bluffing, right? Like the guards here will answer to Chazar over her. And they are going to make a deal with the mandate with Waterloo, and she wants us to basically disrupt that, show that Chazar is weak, and they should deal with her instead, maybe, or whatever it is. Like she wants Chazar taken out, and I think she dangles the bit where like, I know you're after something important here. I've intercepted your transmissions. Like, you know, like I was waiting for you to arrive on this train.
Who was
Right.
sending those transmissions?
Hmm?
Who was sending those transmissions?
Bob back at base using old codes. Fucking Bob.
I knew I had a reason to hate that guy.
No, I love that. Like she's in charge of like the trains and the logistics, but every casino has its own head, and it's like a council of equals. Is a cool vibe.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
Cool. And I also think that gives her a good reason to basically not care that we just knocked out all the guards in her also too, because now the guards are out of the way also. Like, and she was free to give this side offer.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine those two guards were loyal to her. It's just like the other ones
Okay.
are going to be a problem. So rather than just a simple, like extract this one droid, she's asking us to like disrupt this deal with the mandate. Yeah.
Cool. I think we should do it.
My Gosahedron
Is
shakes happily.
is she gonna wipe out your debt if is that the concept too?
Oh no, I would still owe her. That's not how it works. The accounts need to be balanced.
Okay.
Napoleon.
I love it. So, do we want to disembark? Do we hear the final like, bing bong, Vega S, or like, prepare for departure at Vega S Casino?
Don't forget your luggage. What did they say? I don't know.
Please gather all your belongings.
The current local space time is.
Please adjust watches. Thank you for traveling Hypertrain Express, a subsidiary of a horrible cartel.
Tony, you need to do like voice acting for trains.
It's my new side hustle. I have a couple side hustles in the work. That's my newest one. I'm gonna add it to my list. My favorite one is I'm waiting on .box to be available because I have suggestion.box pre-reserved for whenever the .box extension becomes. I'm just gonna make it a universal suggestion box. Send me whatever you think could be better about the world. I'll do my best. I'm gonna make my second $1 million, and so. So as we departed the space station, like we got to pocket all the free waters we can get also too, because water, like snacks, are very expensive here. And so.
Yeah. Oh my God, what is your character's name?
Estafor.
Estafor has lots of pockets, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I have a lot of mail tubes.
Oh yeah, we replace all the wine with.
Like
With
shunk,
snacks
shunk,
and
shunk,
water.
shunk. And some of the really good granola they have on this train. Space granola.
Space.
So we so as we enter into the like spaceport, what, like, how are we getting into the casino? Are we just going in the front doors? Do we all have different ways in? What's the plan? Like for Napoleon, it is like, I'm here to gamble. I came to the casino. I'm here to get down. Is everybody staying in their same roles or staying together?
Yeah, I think Helix is still, going with the cosplay thing.
My question would be, like, right now we have kind of two, like, we have a quest and a side quest, essentially, of getting that droid out of the gladiator pit and getting the like connection between Waterloo and Chase Sachs. That was the name.
It's a sci-fi version of Caesar. So it's it's Chazar.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's his palace. Okay, I see. I thought you were trying to.
Oh no, I'm doing deep wordplay here. Don't get me wrong.
Chazar. Okay. And yeah, do we do we all as a group do them one by one, or we split up?
That's what I was just asking. So like,
Yeah, exactly.
here's the thing. Napoleon, I think in classic hero from a, like, I think Napoleon's relationship with the world is somewhat like Golden Age comic heroes' relationship with the world. Like, he just assumes things are going to work out in his
Just as if
favor.
Dharma would have wanted.
Yeah. So like, so I am just like happy to stroll through it. It's why I send bottles of wine to my foils and other things like that. So I'm going to the main doors and I'm going into the casino. Like, that is my plan. But yeah, whatever. I don't know what anybody else's does, because other people have different options.
Should we?
Sorry.
Go ahead. I was thinking out loud.
I'm gonna like sidebar with Napoleon, and say, hey, that might have got us out of a tight spot, but I think I got us into a bigger one. But don't worry about it. I will. I got a bit nervous on the train, but like, you know, like the stakes are high now. Like, trust me, I can deal with this. I am going to lie about my abilities and knowledge on like how much I actually know about what Waterloo and Cesar are up to here. And gain a token that way, and like try and like convince you to like, hey, just let me, you know, you and Sunspot deal with the rescue the you know, to finish the mission. Helix and I can take care of this.
Yeah, so
right?
is
Like,
that...
you know,
I was about to
you've taught me all you know, maybe. Sorry.
Go ahead, Riley.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I was gonna ask what the most dangerous assignment is, because one of my vulnerable moves is volunteer for the most dangerous assignment. So I'm assuming that it's the one where the mandate is trying to make a deal with the casino. So I'll say, you know.
I mean, I think at this point we can play it either way. So if we want to make that the more dangerous assignment, I'm 100% on board with making that the most dangerous assignment.
I want to pitch my thing and see if we can combine with yours, Riley. Because I want to kind of do the liberation pillar a little bit.
Hell yeah.
And I want to see the... Oh no, I don't have moves. Okay, this is failing because there's no moves. There's no tokens. I need tokens for this.
Oh. Well, you can do... What's the liberation?
I can quickly gain a token by complicating someone's vision of freedom. If anyone's up for that. So I think this is interesting in terms of 9, which is your name, Estafor.
9 works as well as the 4
Yeah.
or 9.
I think it's very interesting, like in your position, like you're free from the mandate, but you're not free from the debt now. So like, I'm complicating your vision of freedom right now. I'm trying to.
Wow, I'm so glad that kind of thing only exists in sci-fi. It would be really nice. That was in the real world too.
Can I make a pitch to like
Yeah. You
like
can
enhance that further?
Yes.
Is that like, what if there's, you know, we make contact with, like, once we get there, we make contact with the liberation base, like Bob sends us a transmission, and it's like, okay, and then we give them an update, hey, like, we're gonna do this other thing, and command tells us, no, stick to the mission, like don't take on this unnecessary risk, like you have to follow orders here because, you know, like and then like there's this just deja vu of like, yeah, this is what I heard back in the mandate as well.
I like that, yeah. And also that kind of ties in why I wanted this token, because introduce dangerous plans and ask others to participate if they do give them a token. And yeah, Bob sends in, I think the transmission goes through Sunspot. Like there's a special triangle that like opens up And there's
can
like
it be
a
like a fax machine? Can you like print it out?
yes, it like prints out. And like, okay, here's what you got to do, and like you have to do exactly this, and it's like, it's like I think the briefing was like very vague and not like very informative of like what you actually have to do in this casino, but actually like the pit, it's like guarded by like a bunch of guards, and there's like lasers everywhere, and like it's impossible almost to get through. And like and it's like the transmission is like, yeah, you got to do this. This is me like asking to participate. And if you do, you get a token.
Awesome. And who are you asking?
I think the mechanical thing is that I give one person a token.
Right.
I think I'm asking. Oh my God, this is difficult because we're a team.
Well, if this is like your side of the mission, then it would probably be one of you, right?
Yes, but also I want like Helix to volunteer.
Oh, what if
get
it's
it,
like,
so
oh, it's so complicated, you need Helix, like specifically.
Okay, yeah, sure, let's go. Right, like
That's
I read
not-
it and I'm like, okay, actually, I'm doing this part of the
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
And so I give you a
someone who
token.
understands lasers.
It's a horrible idea narratively. Here's what I love. I'm just gonna go on my own. I'm also gonna ask y'all the question: how am I making the same mistakes I did during the war right now? Like my approach to this.
Wait, are you going without me?
Do what?
Without me, you're going away?
Do what? I'm cruising. I'm vibing. So if y'all are gonna go do the other thing, that's fine. Like
Wait, hold on. Who is doing what? I'm kind of confused now.
Yeah.
So no, my statement was not like I'm abandoning. I'm like I'm just cruising into the thing. Like I'm my character is unconcerned with with anybody else's choices.
We're like talking about like, oh, who should do what?
Yeah, I have this fax machine.
And then you're just like, bye.
Yeah, I'm like this is all like this is how I think the concept of this elder is that he is just ready to walk into whatever danger it is and doesn't care.
I do have a suggestion for how you're repeating the mistakes of the past. So you said that you have a friend who you couldn't stop from falling to the dark side.
Correct.
Or whatever. I'm sure that it doesn't say dark side. Can't use that. Sorry, Disney. And what if the reason that you couldn't save them is because you insisted on doing it on your own?
Ooh, I love that.
Like you never like brought the issue to the rest of the liberation or whatever it was called then. You were like, no, I like nobody else needs to worry about this. I'm just gonna do it.
An unwillingness to share the burden, which I love because it pushes against it pushes up on some of the themes that we've named for the space between, and so I love that. And so so like that's so that's a character facing statement. Like if y'all are following me, that's great. If you're not, that's great. My character is just cruising, cape flowing out behind them towards the line to the casino.
In their mind, what's Napoleon working on? The main mission or everything?
Oh, Napoleon will get in there, and there will be some opposition, and they will watch the droid fights until they see the droid they're need to rescue, and then they'll figure it out from there. Like there is no plan. Like where Napoleon is, the action happens. That's fine.
I think I'll ask that in character, right? Like as the fall looks up to Napoleon.
I also do like Jeff wrote a wise, wonderful, giving character, and I've turned them into a cocky schmuck immediately. And
that's the correct way to play. Is you take the thing and you say no, not that.
Yeah, so I guess I'll ask that in character, like as the fall say, oh, like don't worry, I'll do it with Helix, and then we get this transmission saying like, no, stick to the plan. We need Helix for the plan. And then Astapor is confused now. It's like, wait, like Napoleon, you're the lead here. What do we do, right? Like you're just gonna walk in, like there's a plan. They just sent us plans.
During the war, I would often find that they would send plans and they would send missions and they would send things. But if you put yourself in the right place and surrender to the space between, these things have a way of working themselves out.
So is the most dangerous assignment just keeping watch of Napoleon?
It's just being in the wake of crap that Napoleon creates. I like that. That is funny. I think ostensibly, like, the most dangerous assignment is going to, like, I do think the most dangerous assignment probably is the one that involves a pit of fighting droids and maybe people sometimes. That's got lasers and holograms, rather than the conversational, like, let's talk about this. Now, this is a Star Wars-ish story, so we all know that those things are one and the same. Like, they all work together in the end. But I definitely think the laser droid fights sound more dangerous than the let's go talk to the casino manager about the mandate one.
I want to ask, who do you want me to be to Napoleon?
Oh man!
Like, I'm seeking your advice here. It's like, wait, so is that what I'm supposed to do? I'm gaining a token and say like
yeah.
Is that how things are? Like, who am I supposed to be here? You know, do I listen to the orders that have been sent through from the Liberation superiors, or do I just go with the flow with you, Napoleon?
I'm going to. Napoleon says, shut down your active mind. Like, and it's a total like bullshit aphorism answer of like, just surrender to who you're supposed to be. It doesn't tell you anything helpful about who you are, other than potentially having the benefit of basically being like, look, you are the kind of person who likes to show off and be in the center of things, and I will show you how to do that. And so if you need to talk to the manager, certainly you can come with me and we'll get his attention.
Okay, right. I
Amazing.
trust you. I trust you, Napoleon. We'll do it your way.
Don't worry, I paid for the VIP seating area, which I want to point out, this casino is just a scam. Like, every seating is a VIP seating. It's just an upcharge thing that they do. Like, I think it's an important thing, but it's not. And so, so I guess we're all just, now that I've towed you all into my wake of dumb crap.
I know
Which
what.
means that Sunspot is taking on the mandate alone.
No, I might. The idea is that I have a move that I really like. It's called follow your partner's ill-conceived plan without question, which is perfect for this game.
Yeah, there is a certain degree which I know that character sheet well, or that playbook well, so I am giving you plenty of opportunities to have a.
Oh, then it's perfect.
So, plus I just as a commentary, I love the way that the Force is written as just the ultimate plot device that doesn't feel like a plot device. Like, and I think the problem with a lot of the most recent run of Star Wars movies is that people felt them using that tool as a plot device too much. But anyways, it's a totally so yeah, I guess we're all just cruising into the casino. Then,
What could possibly go wrong?
I mean, if you tell me to face the mandate alone, I can do that because I follow you.
Sorry, that was more of a bit, but like, go
Yeah.
on.
So I'm going to cruise up to the front of the line, and I'm going to try to slip the bouncer what would have been an appropriate amount of money during the Iridian War, but is now massively undervalued amount of money, which is showing how long it's been since I was a great hero in the dumbest way possible.
Economics.
Economically.
A bad bribe is what, hero. I used to know the right amount of money, and I don't anymore. And so that's my vulnerable move. Is like, I give him nowhere near enough of a bribe to get to the front of the line.
I might have the right item though. Like, I might help you out, in this bribe.
Yeah.
You just open one of the extra bottles of wine.
The strong stuff.
Actually,
The
so, like,
poison
I have-
one that we established earlier.
So the move is surprisingly they have the item or knowledge needed, and I think the item is like it might be the wine because we've established it already. So I want to give that to the bride.
So here's
like
what I want to
super rare.
establish. I like lean back, like so. We've got Sunspot here, Napoleon's White walks up to the guard. I turn around and I like look at oh dang it, why can't I remember it? Estafor, and I'm like, I hand the guy the money and I go, watch this. And while I'm doing that, Sunspot like quickly sticks out this expensive bottle of wine also too. May we enter?
I think this is Scum and Villainy.
Probably.
Who wants
Yeah.
to take on that? I feel
I
like
mean-
I've played
do
the
we-
pillar already.
But yeah, or does it just happen? I think is the other
Yeah,
question.
Yeah,
I
it
think
can
I
also
think it
just
just
happen.
happens, right? Like if you spend a token to do it, right? Like was that
yeah,
a
yeah.
yeah. Then that just gets us in, I think.
Cool.
Great.
Yeah, Estafar looks impressed. It's like, ooh,
Ooh,
so I'm sure y'all planned this together, Sunspot and Napoleon.
I want to check out the space between. I'm sorry, I'm grabbing all of these pillars. They're so cool. And it's invoke awe and gain a token. And I'm thinking, like, if you enter this casino, like from the outside, it just looks okay-ish, I guess. Like I don't know, like maybe a brutalist building, like very structurally sound, very perfect, minimalist.
It's a space station, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but inside it's just like awe-inspiring. Like it's so
Right,
huge,
it has
and there's
beautiful and extraordinary decorations or whatever.
exactly,
Yeah.
and it's like full of colors, like more colors than you've ever seen and stuff like that. I just picture this, this overwhelming sort of senses type of place.
Like it's inside. There's like a hollow projector on the ceiling that makes it look like there's these two giants like fighting each other like around the
Yes,
edges of the board, and they're decked out in this traditional clan gear. What other things do we see? Does everybody want to whip out a cool visual real quick?
I'm just Well, you're thinking the space between does like one of the tips is making a space feel ancient and is it the space as in cosmos space, or is it space
Does
just
it not
all
say
space?
space between?
Oh yeah, it does say space between.
Okay. I was like, oh no, not more typos.
No. It's like, is it this like what is space between? Is it?
I mean, that's
is it
supposed
like
to be like the Force, but it can be whatever. In my party
Fair
of one
enough.
episode, it was like a sense of drama.
Yeah. I just want to I want to kind of take space between meaning like just old space, like space
Yeah.
as in distance. And yeah, what if it's like you see all of this, but there's also like a lot of curtains and a lot of locked doors. So you feel, and that's how the enigmatic part comes in. So like you have this awe-inspiring place, but also like you see a lot of hidden spots where like secrets might be, and it's like this duality.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna case the joint, so to speak. I'll just look around and like see what's happening here, because I want to ask who's really in control here, who or what is really in control here.
I love that. So I think we've got Shazar, we've got this cartel, we've got the mandate at work. I actually like the idea potentially to pull some things together of maybe, even though this is complicating things, and probably a horrible idea from a writing standpoint, don't do what I do. What if like there's a very obvious vie for control here between like traditional casino stuff and the fighting pit, and the fighting pit seems to be on the winning side, and the pit boss, to be named in maybe a moment, is actually the person who exerts the most power and control in this area.
Cool. So is that scum and villainy then?
I I mean, it's cartel, so yeah. I mean, I would say it's scum and villainy is probably.
Sorry, because I have to give someone a token.
Wait, I'm just trying to figure out how many internal struggles we have.
Um,
So
Fair enough.
I have to give a token to the scum and villainy then. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or we could make Shazar the pit boss, right? Like maybe that's his way of, if we want to simplify things. That's why I was like, this feels like I'm overcomplicating things. Yeah. So what if we make Shazar the pit boss who has recently asserted authority here, in order to, and like that's like making the deal with the mandate as a way of them asserting that power.
Yeah, I like that especially because it kind of converges our two missions a bit more.
Right.
Mhm.
Cool. So let's do
Okay.
that.
So they
Scum and
have
villainy
one
now.
token. Scum and villainy has a token.
Space Between also has a token if
Yep.
you're noting it down.
Mandate lost their token, right? They spent it already.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. So Space Between has one, and Scum and Villainy has one. The Liberation also had one, but then they spent it.
Yep.
Okay. Just some
Ooh.
admin.
Admin.
What were you saying, Riley?
I'm looking at my moves again, and I hadn't really looked at the lateral moves. But the one that I literally pointed out that I was like, this is so good, is ask where is my quarry and give a token if they reveal their location. And I assume that the droid that the droids we're looking for, would be liberation, right?
Yeah.
The
they were
droids we're looking
Liberation.
for would be liberation. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I will give, if they reveal their location, I will give the liberation a token. The droid that we are looking for. I can't keep saying that.
We can accelerate it and make the droid like be there, right? Like the next, like, or they're previewing the next fight, and like the droid is gonna be there.
Yeah. So yeah, like I think we hear like the crunch of metal, right? And we like, and it's like the end of one fight, and we see like the up next screen like show the picture of the droid.
Yep.
Oh, like it could be like on stadiums, like when you're not like seated and you're like in this liminal space of between the entrance and the seats. There's there are like these screens that show what's going on and what's
Right.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we are in this lounge, but it shows us, oh yeah, like catch the next fight, like in 10 minutes or something.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I think especially with given like the Shays like taking over and the holographic ceiling, I think it's not even like a small thing. I think it's like a huge across the ceiling thing. Like it flashes.
They just
for
broadcasted,
everyone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah,
droid
in
like
fact-
cutting a promo? Like what is?
The droids are cutting a promo. So I'm gonna pull out a PBTA system. We're gonna hack it in real quick. We're gonna play some Worldwide Wrestling now, right in the middle of the screen. And we're gonna roll cut a promo. No, I do love the idea of the droids cutting a promo. What is that?
I don't know like anything about wrestling.
It's just them like kind of beefing up and trying to excite things. So it like would be like, and then like them like making some knife emotions potentially. Like I don't know what exactly it would be like, but I do love that idea. And and here's the thing. Like so we've got so we've got skim us to offer information to cost introduce or invite betrayal, like get a token. Get someone involved. Oh, maybe maybe it is like maybe one of the droids that pops up is introducing like a like they're like the promo is like after I defeat like so and so I'm going to take on any human combatant that wants to fight me.
Ooh.
So this would be because Scum and Villainy has get someone involved in a dangerous scheme and give them a token. So like maybe this is like an opening for Helix to step into the ring.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I have a strong move, which is challenge someone to a duel.
There we
So
go.
if I'm already kind of being challenged, then I could use that for something else, like stare death in the eyes and not back down, or put on a show of force.
I also
Go ahead.
I have a separate pitch of the droid we are looking for. I have a relationship which might be that droid, the anxious loved one who is searching for me. And it would be interesting if like it's like another model of like another ICO 20 droid, and like who was like searching for me, and like that's why we're going. I don't know. Just
I think my question is: are the ICO lines all 20s, or is it like an ICO 2, an ICO 4, an ICO 6, an ICO 8, an ICO 10,
Oh,
an ICO 12?
it's definitely a 4, and it defeats its enemies by having them step on it.
oh my god, we have a polyhedral family.
The ICO 100 is
Listen,
just
this
just
is
a
some great
sphere.
merchandising opportunity.
By the way,
okay?
yeah. So we need the entire ICO line. I love that. Like I like them not even knowing that you're here and it being a part of it. And yeah, I love the idea of an ICO 4 that can like get underneath things and stab up, but also maybe jump up in the air and then try to land.
It's scary, like.
And so what if, I'm trying to think, does Liberation have any tokens right now?
Liberation,
One. One.
Yeah, the Liberation has 1.
Oh.
Because I gave it for revealing my queen.
Ah, I see.
And so maybe I was gonna say, well, that's too much. I think the other fun thing would have been in their promo to be like, you know, like if we stop fighting and just come together, we can throw out, like, it's basically like the face. So like the one stabby one was like, I'll take on all human comers if I win, and then the like the our droid, the ICO 4, is like you know, what if we stopped fighting each other and started fighting true injustice in the world?
And everyone's like, nah.
It is trying to like rally the other droids at the same time.
Dice of the world unite.
Yeah, which could be offer help or solidarity with or without a cost, but I don't know that's where we're at right now.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of a little what is that called? It's not a pyramid. What is that? Triangular prism, right? A little triangular prism that's threatening to fight humans. And then also with that, I like the idea that I step in trying to rescue it, but it or they or whatever doesn't know that I'm here to rescue it. So it's just like so that I don't know if that's also too much, but I think that would be funny.
So I guess the question is this an opportunity for people to get down into the pit? Like, so do we want to do a call out where maybe like they're each able to pick a comrade in arms from the audience?
All right, I'm looking for a volunteer. Anybody? Fight to the death? Anybody? No. I mean, what is that less scary than getting cut in half?
Yeah, because I mean, I think we established like this is like it's a lasered off dome. There's only like the official ways into the pit, and so like you've got to get in line for this. So anyways, do we let's in classic Napoleon fashion. I'm gonna find a seat next to the edge of it, like next to the edge of the arena, as we're waiting for this, and then I'm gonna page a server, also, like a droid attendant or a human attendant or whatever passes for attendance in these places.
Do you want just anyone?
Yeah, I'm basically letting a waiter know I want to order a drink, essentially. Like, so this can be any NPC. We need an NPC though.
I'm just trying to see if a pillar would work.
Well, it will in a second. Here's the thing. I'm going to page one, and I'm just going to tell them I want to speak to the manager.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Like, this is just, and I wink over at Estefan, and Estefor, and I'm like, you know, like this is I mean, this is how you do it. You just come in and you ask, and so I was just asking like, do we think there are droid attendants here, or do we think there are like alien/human attendants here?
I think if they have like droids, like there are two possible ways. Either like they have a lot of droids and they don't mind like using them for everything, or they use all the droids only for fighting. Like,
Yeah, I like droids as fighting, maybe like flesh beans as servers. But certainly I think the manager is like Shazer. I'm trying to look and see if I have a move that will summon them.
yeah, I think like if you're not spending tokens, like in BOB games, it has like some sort of difficulty to it, and like it's not that easy.
Right, there's a level of like rationalizing it through.
Yeah, but if you're spending a token, it just happens.
I don't have like the thing is I don't have a strong move. Oh no, I guess I can. I've got just the solution for this. Then I hit the page button and say, I'd like to speak to the manager, please.
Strong boomer energy here.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's what Nova's doing. What is everybody else up to?
I mean, I think Helix is going to challenge a robot to a fight.
Yep, we already have
Or
that.
is going to yeah.
I'm gonna be off screen for a while. I want to get that.
You just beat booping off into the distance.
I'm not beat booping. I'm just rolling.
Okay, all right. So I've gained a token because earlier it was like offered to me, right, from a thing.
Yep.
So there's that, and then I think I'm gonna take another token by doing the vulnerable move. Take off your armor.
Ooh.
Because I have been wearing armor this whole time, but people think it's cosplay, so it's kind of like the double thing of like, okay, now I'm gonna be myself, and also like, oh, you guys thought. And I don't know how much we want to really narrate this robot fight, but I have 2 tokens, which I'll gladly use both of them to.
I mean, I think a little bit I think because it's one of the interesting things here. A lot of like belonging outside belonging systems, like don't invite violence as a concept. And like space opera, Star Wars, like handles it in a very elegant way of like it happens, but it's all very largely plot or sword fights that are mostly emotional exchange, which is I think such a great feel. And I love I love how you've basically made it just an easy part to include in the system.
Yeah.
And so I would say like a couple like back and forth things probably makes sense. And then you can spend a token to win if you want to win.
Yeah, and just a question. You're fighting Ico 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense if it's like in a musical sort of way. Like it's like in musicals you like sing and dance because you want to like express emotions, and it's the same thing with combat. You're doing this because that's the only way you can like express yourself.
Right.
And I think that's like a cool way to
that's what
approach
they say.
it.
When you're too emotional to talk, you fight, and when you're too emotional to fight, you do a third thing.
You duel.
You dance.
Sword fight.
So,
yeah, no, it's still dance. It's actually still
Yeah.
no, but I mean, and that again, that feels very Star Wars. It's the like,
yeah,
wah, 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 clang, clang, clang. I say this thing, you say that thing, wah, 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 clang, clang, clang.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You know, and so that I like that feel.
Yeah. So does someone want to play Ico 4 of the Liberation?
Oh,
I will play
I
Ico.
could.
Oh, well, I guess you're off scene for sure.
I'm just off screen, so I might as well.
I mean, do we want to give it some extra trait moves? I don't know if there's something that
we already know something about Ico 4. What do we know about Ico 4?
Oh, they're anxious, right?
Yep. And then
oh yeah, they're anxious from my.
Let's see what else can we know about Ico 4? Some another descriptor.
I think 2 traits is enough, right? Anxious.
Maybe because Ico 4 is tiny but has survived in this pit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So cunning could be interesting.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Daring could be interesting. Cocky could be interesting.
Troublemaker.
Cocky is very funny.
We want to do that. Project overconfidence and gain a token. Insert yourself into someone's conversation or plan. Give them a token, or make a wrong-headed assumption about someone and give them a token when you act on it.
That's definitely one of my favorite trait moves that I wrote.
Yeah.
That last one.
And so, I actually like daring for this one though. I think overall, because it feels like a good pro wrestler move. To like propose an exciting and overcomplicated idea and gain a token. Invite someone to do something dangerous. Give them a token if they say yes. Get in over your head and ask for backup or rescue. Give those who answer a token.
Oh, that's fun because that's what we're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that a lot. Okay. Yeah, I think the first thing, right, is that I like come into the ring. I'm assuming this is like a who dares challenge me, the triangle of death or whatever.
Well,
Triangle of death, the pyramid of pain.
I think like they have the same sort of language as ICO 20, but it's much more like aggressive and much more like quick and rash because they're a triangle. They don't have so many sides to like flip around, so they're kind of like. And also, I think they have like a bunch of like I'm imagining like a Mad Max sort of thing where they have like spikes and like all sorts of
triangles.
paint. Yeah, across them. Just because they're like so metal now.
They are a caltrop. Like they have literally become caltrop. I like that idea. I also like that like in order to make up for the lack of sides, like they are like their pyramid panels like rotate in any direction.
Oh yeah.
Like, so like they basically have the ability to like flip jump very quickly, whereas like you're heavier and like more roll clunk around. Like they are like they can actually like
double jump and stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
like they can flip off of things and other stuff like that by spinning their panels, but it gives them more response options than just the 4 also too. Like, you got 8 things you can say. And so so I love that. I love that idea. And so who's are you taking ICO 4 on, MV?
Yep.
Okay. So maybe we hear an announcer come over. If that's okay with everybody, we'll get a
yes.
And then like you hear somebody like so Riley, for Helix, like you're getting down there, you're getting prepped, and the like this kind of grizzled short gremlin-y creature leans over and is like so like what's your name?
Oh.
Like what's your combat name? Come on, kid. We don't got a lot of time here.
I want her to have like a cool like code name in the order or whatever, but also her name is already so cool. Maybe she'll just say like Astray.
Astray. Great name. Awesome.
I don't know wrestling. Give me a better one. I don't know.
Is this your first time in the pit? You're gonna do great. Hey, can I see your weapons real quick?
Oh, she's like, I
just gotta check them out to make sure they're good for the fight.
She just uses her fists. She doesn't have any weapons. She's got cool bracers.
Cool. He's like, let me see those bracers real quick.
She's like,
I just gotta make sure there's nothing in there, and then all of a sudden, like a huge guy pushes
you gotta put a little zip tie on him.
A huge guy pushes you from behind with no bracers into the middle of the pit.
Jeez.
And so I'm going to complicate this for you.
Oh, love that.
Which is I know is a move on Scum and Villainy, and I'm having a hard time scrolling back and forth right now.
Complicate someo's worldview.
Get someone.
Introduce
or invite betrayal.
Introduce okay. Yeah.
And so.
Wow, the fighting pit betrayed me.
And so you get shoved in with no bracers on. For a slightly deadlier fight against the character we're here to save.
Cool. Love that for me. Okay, so I think the first I mean, I don't think the bracers did anything like super special. It was just like the way that I always wear these bracelets. It would just feel super weird to not have them on.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's like necessary that they were like
to people just being like just kidding. when they take away whatever. Like I can imagine somebody coming in there with like an actual weapon and being like, okay, yeah, this will be easy.
Yeah, I think this is also like the taking stuff away. I think is always they're like, we're gonna check your weapons real quick, and then they just get shoved in because
Oh yeah, no, that's great.
it's
That's
like
a
we don't
very
want
good-
like we're happy to hurt a person. We don't want a person to hurt our droid. Like is the
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, but just because of that, like, I wish I had known what was going on. I would have, like, like maybe instead I do have like a space dagger or something.
Space dagger. A phase dagger, they call them.
I mean, like, listen, this character is based on my vague aesthetic idea of like medieval knight orders, but cooler. So like, she has a cool space dagger.
Sounds great. Well, yeah, and space daggers are 100% thing in Star Wars. They call them like they have like vibrational and other stuff. But let's call it a phase.
Space dagger, coward.
Yeah, space dagger. Come on, call it what it is. And so. Also, we had a small little weird stream interrupt, so if somebody lost us and is rejoining us, welcome. Hey, Penny for a Tale. Good to see you. We're playing through Galactic 2nd Edition and telling a Star Wars style story. We're in a droid fighting pit about to...
I'm a caltrop that can rotate at very dangerous speed.
So yeah, they take away your bracers and your space dagger and shove you in.
I think I just want to play up the anxious nature of my ICO 4, and they sort of just like rotate and sort of flip around like, oh yeah, I'm like this motion, but then a like caltrop does it.
I love the anxious daring combination also too.
Yeah.
Like I overthink things, but then when I finally act, I do so with wild abandon is 100% fun. And
that's ADHD, baby.
That's right. And so so you hear like coming to the middle of the ring, we've got the pyramid of pain, the triangle of terror. It's ICO 4, and you hear both canned and real applause like go off. And then you've got for the first time here at Vega S Casino, we have stepping in the mysterious stranger Astray.
She's like cracking her knuckles.
So
like complete silence.
No, you 100% hear Nova like, woo! Woo! In the background.
Way to give us away.
And so so this is you're in D4's or ICO 4's dance fight.
Can I ask a question? So this is like a force field or something around the fight.
I think it's lasers, like just laser beams.
Laser grid,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I want the mandate to foreshadow a larger threat to give them a token.
Bigger lasers.
Because you notice previously there was like the guards, right, that were dressed up like the order, which were Cesar's guards, but now you see other troopers as well come in and block off exits.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like to the casino or to the ring?
To the ring.
All the exits, right? They're trying to cover
Ah.
so that no one here can leave, and they're doing it quietly, but you can notice it out of the corner of your like the camera definitely sees it, right? Like while this is happening,
Okay.
stormtroopers are covering all the exits to the casino, and like I think they're stationing themselves near the ring as well.
Cool. So Riley, tell us about your and ICO 4's dance fight.
Yeah, well, I think my first move is staring death in the eyes and not backing down. The triangle of terror. Just cracking my knuckles and
That's a good move. I think ICO 4 just sort of like stops for a second because they've never like seen anyone so like brave. Usually everyone who fights ICO just runs away because like it's a triangle of death. It's just a caltrop.
Of course, the scariest shape, of course.
Yeah, like I mean, and
Destiny thinks though.
But here you're like sort of just standing there, and they're like, "What do I do now?" Like you're not running away, like, and Now I have to do
You've
something
only
actually.
got posers. I see.
um, I don't know how to do moves. I need.
I mean, I think for the purposes of this, it's really more about like, what does the exchange look like until
Yeah.
someone uses a move, right?
I want there to be like at least a single strike from ICO 4, and like to give you a chance to sort of maybe say like that you want to save them actually. So they're gonna do a double jump and sort of fly like a high up caltrop attack.
Ow. God, I don't know how to do
Daring.
this.
I like maybe I pitch this. Maybe like you're on the ropes a little bit. Like you weren't expecting this full on pyramid of pain to just come straight.
Yeah. Right. I think she's like immediately like, wait. I'm trying to help you.
Well, I can't stop mid jump now.
Well, I don't think that she says it for anyone else to hear.
This is like the
It's on purpose.
Yeah.
It's on purpose to get you to a point where I can like say something without everybody else hearing it.
Like you spirit, like you know the clinch, like so in wrestling, like you do like a clinch move.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you come
yeah,
in
I
and then
see
you can
that.
like communicate with each other a little bit.
I think that makes good sense, and I think like instead of spikes, it kind of changes to like little cushions, and it forms. I think it like lands, but instead of a spike, it's like a pillow and like grips you essentially. like in a pillow fight.
And so
Oh my
everybody else just sees like it looks like there's a point stuck into your shoulder, but it's really just pillow grabbed.
Yeah, it was like last second, so no one notices.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you hear just like this clinking sound, like. What's up?
I don't know. I'm trying to see if I have a good like move for this. I don't know.
So I've got.
I guess.
I've got a lateral move, which I think could be fun for a little flashback. Too, if you're down for that, but if you're not, then.
I was just thinking I could use my other one to take someone by surprise. You know.
Oh.
And like that's the other thing, right? And just be like, I'm actually from the Liberation. Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I like that as kind of, you know, like it looks like we're gonna fight, and then it's like, hold up. Just kidding.
I actually here's my thing. I don't necessarily know that takes a move, right? Like you're already in the essence of this fighting. Like that's a communication thing, right? You're just telling them a thing they didn't know. And I don't necessarily know that we've established that like D4 is against us. But I like the idea of that, right? Like, so if the concept is like you want to like escape, is there a way you can use the surprise move to set up an escape?
Oh, that's good, right? Be like, right, and like maybe like ISO 4 is actually ICO 4 has actually been like waiting for this, right? And like
it becomes like a springboard or something.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know what the hell the plan is, but like, you know.
Yeah,
I just.
So my thing was, I have a lateral move called "Ask How Can I Help Push You Past Your Limits" and give them a token if they give you an answer. So my actual plan was to potentially offer that to Riley's character as a flashback like training montage. Like, has there been a thing we've been working on or part of the tactical or strategical conversations we've been having that I've been like, no, when like, you know, you're exactly where they expect you to be until the last minute, and then you're everywhere they didn't want you to be, or some dumb thing that I say. And there's some sort of move associated with it. I don't know. That was just like a pitch thing, but I don't know if you have an idea, like if I ask you that question.
I have an idea that could work maybe with yours, because I really want to break free from the like laser grid thing. And I wonder if ICO 4 has like some sort of move that they can just sort of like punch through it or something like that, like create a gap that we can escape.
Like
through.
if you spin the triangle fast enough, it can get through the.
It can like disable the like create an opening from the laser.
How about this? I'm familiar with the ICO line. I know the ICO family. I'm going to like, so I see this happen, like, and what I'll do is that I'll spend one of mine. It's a lateral move. I'm going to slide my laser shield that we already established I have,
Of course.
like through the like I'm going to toss it out onto the floor, like which is
Okay.
like unactivated, right? But I'm going to basically toss it at the two of y'all,
Okay.
because I feel like that gives then. I feel like laser on laser. That's a thing, right? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
just fight
Yeah.
laser with laser.
I think that's really cool because should we just like finish this fight and just leave? Or do you have
Yeah.
something else to say?
I'm fine with that. I think I grab the laser shield and like we use our combined triangle and laser powers to
Triangle.
to break out of it. And
Cool.
everyone is too shocked for a moment to even know what to do.
What is it? How do you use the laser shield? I think is my question.
I think I just want to use my triangular shape. And what if like the edges maybe detach and create like this triangular and using the lasers. Oh god, this is maybe too complex for this. But basically my edges detach and it's like I have 1, 2, 3 edges now. And this creates like a triangle hole in this laser grid. Using
That
the
you
laser
can like
shield.
jump through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it.
Sure.
Sure, whatever.
Can I ask something? What did we do with Serena?
What happened there?
We ended up making okay with her. Like she wanted this.
Yeah.
She wanted to say.
I think she's kind of like sitting on the other side of the pit, like arms crossed, like kind of like drinking a flute of champagne or something. Space champagne.
Okay, yeah, but just because like you mentioned previously, like stuffing her into like a space
We
box.
did not. We
Yeah.
we ended up just making this
Yeah.
deal with her instead.
Okay. Because I think Scum and Villainy wants to do another betrayal.
Oh, another betrayal.
Yep.
Curse you, scum and villainy.
Who made this?
It's so good. Like they gain tokens when they betray people.
It's horrible.
I think you
This
see
says a lot
Serena
about
like
society.
yeah, I think we see Serena like across the table, right? Like, and we finally do this, and it seemingly we haven't done anything against Cesar at all. So she raises a glass to Napoleon, as this thing like triggers off and like oh, looks like we're gonna finish our mission, get Ico 4 out. And as she puts the glass down, Waterloo appears behind her. Obviously okay. And he just gives the motion to like surround all 4 of us.
I love that. Let's do we want Shazar to be a part of this appearance also? Like, is this the culmination of enemy forces?
Like
together?
all 3 of them are evil? Oh no.
No, well, because he's
could've seen
surrounded her, but it's like Shazar versus Serena, and then us versus Waterloo.
I think they surround Cesar as well. I think she made a better deal. Like once we are like right here, then she's like, okay, fine. Like if you
like,
are
you
gonna
can take
focus
out
on
my
your thing,
rival.
I'll work with the mandate and take out my rival.
She just made a
Like-
deal with everybody
so
to take out her rival.
good.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so-
Aaron, that's so good.
so-
Yeah,
We
so
are
I was
all
like, okay,
captured.
fine.
Oh, no.
Yeah. In fact, I think that's gonna put us directly in danger, right?
Yeah.
So mandate has 1 token. Is gonna spend that to put someone in immediate danger. I think because of that earlier interaction with Napoleon, it's gonna be Napoleon.
Oh,
right?
it's got to
they
be
said-
Napoleon.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go for my laser shield, which I don't have. Like you see him reach down and try to grab his laser shield, which he no longer has now, and he just forgot about it. Which is I'm going to take a thing for showing how long it's been since I was a great hero. This is me like being like, oh, I'm totally out of position, and so we meet again, Waterloo.
This time I have the upper hand. I have you surrounded, you and your compatriots surrounded.
I have a pitch
Mhm.
because, as you know, I code 20. Sunspot has been off screen this whole time. First of all, I'm wondering how high is the ceiling here?
We established it's a hollow ceiling, so I don't know that there's actually it's probably very high would be my answer, but
Okay.
also appears higher than it is.
Okay, sure. But okay, I have a better idea then. I think okay, my pitch is that what if you all kind of retreat, and because the mandate sort of surrounded you, you have to retreat into the pit because that's the most center point of everything.
We just got out of the pit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no,
But
yeah, I like this. Keep on going.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
But I just want to spend my token. Reveal how you have been doing something helpful for the last several moments. And I think Sunspot has been drilling a hole in the pit, and they're
Nice.
and you hear and they're coming out of the pit, and there's this a wide hole now in this pit, and Nako's just come on in down here in this tunnel basically.
So I love it. So Ico 4 pops up, creates this hole.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, we've got Helix about to jump out of it, and all of a sudden, we hear the cocking of laser rifles as people are surrounded. And then Waterloo and I have this exchange, and say you can have the high ground, Waterloo. we'll take the
God.
tunnels, and then I grab Estafor and
Yep.
fall backwards into the arena rather than Helix jumping out of the hole.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I think they're firing now, right? They've just started firing and just missing. This is Star Wars style. It's just everyone just fires just slightly off to the left.
And I'll we'll have D4 drop down.
Yeah.
And I'll get my laser shield back, and everyone into the hole. And so what shots might hit us? I've got the laser shield up in full capacity, and I'm blocking shots until everybody gets in the hole. Which is showing a flash of the hero that I used to be.
What an escape! Wow.
So we're down in these tunnels, right? Do we need a final frantic run out?
Yeah, I think the tunnels would be can we still take the train back, or is this tunnel to an escape pod or something like that? That could be interesting.
I was thinking that it was for the droids that are in the fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily.
Ooh,
I'll
I have an idea. I'm
sorry. Go ahead.
Basically, the droids have to get here somehow. Maybe there's a delivery space truck that sort of docks in these tunnels, and that's how we can escape.
Cool. Well, how about I've got a token left. How about this? So I'll anticipate with perfect clarity the mandate's next move.
Okay.
So we see we're passing all these droids. I think I like the idea of us opening up the droid pods as we go by. So we're just gonna flood everything with droids. All the droidiators are gonna come rushing out.
Droids unite.
And yeah, I think we see the original plan was to go back on the ship, but we knew that now that they knew we were here and they were in control, that we would that they would have the hypertrain covered. So maybe we I pull out breathing masks for all of us because the droid ship is not is not
Oh
sealed.
yeah, not pressurized.
And we're able to like slide onto the droid ship and get jettisoned. Oh, maybe it's a little bit more darkly. Maybe it's just a garbage scow. Like maybe it's like all the droids that don't make it. This is where they get
All this
dropped.
crap.
Because if it isn't a Star Wars story, if you don't end up in garbage at some point. And we kind of get shot out into space.
And do we have the gear for?
No, that was me anticipating their next move. I had the gear. I handed
Gotcha,
the masks.
gotcha.
And
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Is that where is? I mean, that's a great place to end. I think. Floating
Yeah,
that
I
feels
love
like a
that.
solid ending point.
Yeah.
That feels like a great until next time. And so,
will our heroes escape from the void of space? Find
Yeah.
out.
find out next time on Galactic 2nd Edition.
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh, and
dun,
I guess my bracers are just gone then.
dun. We'll make
Maybe
new
I'll get
ones.
my sigil back, so it'll be still 2
Yeah.
and 1.
Let's see. I gotta find the right thing. My brain is not working. So we do a thing here on Plus One EXP called Reaction Roll. Reaction Roll is a live stream within a live stream. It's where we sit down with the creator of a game that we just played and talk about what our thoughts were. Today we are playing Galactic 2nd Edition, a game that launched a couple of weeks ago on itch. You can go check it out right now. I highly encourage you to. I had an absolute blast playing it. We're going to talk about it right now. My name's Tony. I'm the Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP. Our hope and desire is to help great designers find amazing players who love their game and help amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. We just got finished playing this amazing game, and we're going to talk about it right now. Before we do that, I'd love to have Riley just say, Riley, tell us a little bit about the game, why you created it, and some of what went into it. Also, if you're out there watching live right now or watching later and you have questions, go ahead and drop them down in the comments or the chat wherever you're watching, and we'll ask those also too. So Riley, tell us a little bit about Galactic 2nd Edition.
Before I do that, do you mind if we take like a break for a minute?
I don't. I almost said that, but I didn't know how everybody was doing. And so how about this? I'm going to redo all of that when I come back, because then we'll just get it in one clean take.
Well, till next time.
Until next time, I should have offered that. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. We're going to take care of our bodies. You should take care of your body. So if you need to drink, you need to go to the restroom, you need to get up and stretch, you need to go tell somebody you love them, go ahead and do that. We're going to come back in just one moment and do the thing I just said we were going to do. But for real.
Okay.
We promise.
And I'm trying to find my right back thing, but I'm just going to put up the title until I find that. And we'll be right back. All right, and we are back to do our reaction roll segment. What is reaction roll? Well, reaction roll is a live stream within a live stream. It's where we sit down with the creator of a game that we just played and talk with them about what our experiences were, what our thoughts were, what we loved about it, and get a chance to ask them some questions. We're also happy to ask any questions you have if you're watching live right now or watching in the chat later. Please go ahead and drop them in. Today, we are talking about Galactic 2nd Edition. My name is Tony Vicinda. I'm the Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP. Our hope and our desire is to help great designers find amazing players who love their games and help amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. Today, like I said, we're playing Galactic 2nd Edition. We just finished playing, took a little break, and now we are back to talk about it. Riley, you are the creator of this game. Tell people who you are, what you do, and also tell us a little bit about Galactic 2nd Edition.
Hi, yeah. So, again, I'm Riley Rethal. You can find me on Twitter at Riley Rethal. You can find the games that I write at metagame.itch.io. You can find Galactic at metagame.itch.io/galactic. So Galactic is a belonging outside belonging game, inspired by Star Wars. It's kind of like what I want Star Wars to be. You know, I watched the movies and said these are okay, but what I really want to do is talk way more about philosophy.
I love that.
I mean, listen, I started writing the original version of it after watching Rise of Skywalker, so like it clearly wasn't like these are great.
You're like, you know what? If we're all just gonna make stuff up now, I can do that.
No, listen. Here's the thing. I like genuinely had so much fun watching Rise of Skywalker. Like, I'm the one person. Like, everybody was watching Cats because it was like a mess that they could. That's how I felt about Rise of Skywalker. Like, me and my brother were just losing our minds laughing, and I think we really confused the like dad and his son who were like sitting next to us.
Yeah. Well, and
because it just felt like a parody of everything that I already thought was dumb about Star Wars. It was great.
Yeah, well, and I love, like, it is fun, like, especially since they've taken on like the Star Wars stories mantra. It's almost like even Disney itself is acknowledging, like, hey, this isn't really Star Wars. These are just stories we're making up. It's fine. And we're doing the exact same thing with Galactic 2nd Edition. I'm super excited. Also, the link right below Riley's face will also take you straight there. So if you want to type that in, it's also, if you're watching this later, it's linked in the descriptions to this video as well. So please feel free to go check it out. Well, Riley, I'm super excited to have played it. I'm going to share my thoughts in just 1 second, but let's meet our other players and hear from them first. Let's start with Aaron today. Aaron, tell people who you are, what you do, and what your experience was like playing Galactic 2nd Edition.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Aaron. I make tabletop games as well at aaronlime.itch.io, and I'm usually at aaronlime on Twitter as well. That's spelled EHRONLIME. I played the Defector in the game of Galactic. I think the thing that I really enjoyed compared to like some of the other BOB games is some of the scaffolding around the locations and NPCs was really helpful because BOB games tend to be very good about like giving like details and motivations to like main characters. Sometimes like when you're trying to like play the pillars or like the setting elements and like trying to introduce like places and people, it's a lot of pressure to like make stuff up, and just having some of that guidance there, and also with the moves that get attached to like NPCs as well, and with how the token economy touches on NPCs, like it helps you kind of like craft the experience a little bit more, rather than just like have very big vague like setting elements thing, which can be quite broad and paralyzing. Like if you pick up one and it's like, oh, I can do anything, and like, oh, what do I do now? And just having some of that scaffolding around like NPCs and like the way the moves happen, and like giving the pacing of like the token economy to the pillars also helps pace the pillars along with the characters as well. So that was interesting. Yeah.
Cool. So, everything's based on playbooks. What playbook did you end up using?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I played the Defector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And
Uh,
did you have? Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just bringing the defector up because I closed the tab.
No worries.
Um, so- but yeah, it's really interesting. With the, I, I I think with the defector itself, the fun parts I had was just like finding that ally in an unlikely place. And I think one of the things that I need to remember about like belonging outside belonging games is like I went in with a slight idea of like what the character would be, what Estafol would be, and like he quickly turned a bit more ridiculous than that. So it's just like oh yeah, be okay with like pushing a little bit more, and like I think our game ended up being a lot more hijinksy, or like yeah, it's a heist, right? Like so
Yeah.
it's better to have like strong characterization, like leap out quickly. So yeah, like but yeah, like I think I think I would have liked to have a bit more, and this wasn't an issue with like the way the playbook was written. It's more like I feel like I should have pushed more to like have the like I ran away the very first scene when someone from the mandate appeared. Um, but yeah, like I feel like I could have pushed more to like deal with the mandate directly, because that's what the playbook pushes for, right? Like it not pushes for, but like it provides that the things to interact with the mandate. So yeah, just slight regret of like I could have like put a bit more spotlight between the defectors relationship with the mandate.
Cool. Now, any questions that you have for Riley about the game, about the design, or anything else?
Um
And you can totally be mean. I don't care.
I don't really have a question yet. So I'll just leave it for now.
Yeah, no worries. If you think of one, let me know.
Yeah.
Let's meet.
Yeah.
Let's meet our other player, Max. Max, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you on the world, or on the internet.
On the world.
So give us
On
your
the
exact
World Wide Web.
latitude, longitude, and height right now above sea level, so we can find you specifically. And then what your experience is like playing Galactic Second Edition.
Yeah. Wow, that's all the questions. I will start with I'm at Mayvisit on Twitter and mvmv.itch.io, where you can find my games. And also, I put up I got a playbook, not a playbook, but a pre-order for a playbook for this game. So if you like this, I was really inspired by pod racing. I have this visual representation of what a pod racer looks like. So if you're into this, you might want to check out the playbooks at mvmv.itch.io/breakneck. And breaknecks is how I call like those pod racers essentially. And yeah, I had like a ton of fun playing Galactic, and I think Riley, you really captured it. Like it's like Star Wars, but like a better Star Wars. It takes like what Star Wars could be, like in a more like if the person making Star Wars was more like into the like core idea of like fighting oppressive states and like doing cool stuff with sci-fi, I guess. Like it's this like perfect combo of what Star Wars wants to be, but it can't for obvious reasons. And yeah, I was playing the companion, which is an unreleased yet class by Tony
Later today.
Later today. Wow. Look. Wow. You had like everyone who saw this, you had like a preview of this. It was pretty fun to play.
Take a screenshot and zoom in really close.
That's right. Then you don't have to buy anything. So.
Look at these notes. Oh my god. The idea behind it I got is like a mix between either Chewbacca or R2D2, and I was pushing more the R2D2 side of this, but I liked how there was a lot of like stuff. My favorite move was going off screen because it let me sort of give away my character and like focus on maybe the pillars more, focus on the NPCs more, and then when I wanted, I could just bring my character back and have the most epic like moments. Like the two times was like the final escape and the moment when you almost got caught by Serena, and those were like my two favorite moments, of course, in this game. And yeah, I think this playbook is like really good, and I will totally get it when it's out. The Yeah, my general experience with this is like I had all of the playbooks like in front of me, and I think that really helped because like while the action was happening, I sort of just was like glancing at all of them at the same time, so I could see moves like just like that, and it was very cool. Just sort of, especially with the space between, it was like invoke awe, and I was like, oh, that would be cool to like do now, or like, oh, this would be cool to do like in a couple of like scenes. So yeah, I think if you're playing BOB games, it's some way to sort of see everything at the same time is like really helpful. Like if you have a like a digital tool, like just having all the playbooks in front of you at the same time, I think it's pretty helpful if you're doing that.
The Galaxy Brain approach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop in actually. Like one of my first thoughts was like, man, I love belonging outside belonging games, and they are so hard to play digitally because of the amount of things
Digitally.
you want to put in front of you. But I was actually wondering, Riley, if you've thought about making a mirror board. I'm gonna hop in here and take
Yeah,
one of
Miro.
these questions. Have you thought about
Um,
creating an online space that people could use for digital play?
Not a lot, just because like I have played a lot of BOB online, and like me and my friends are like mainly good with just kind of screenshotting the playbooks and stuff. But that's definitely something that I could think about.
Yeah.
Like
You
I'm not like against it.
You should itch fund it.
Yeah.
You should be like, if I get
It's fun the mirror
200
board.
more bucks, I will take the time to put this stuff on a mirror board so dummies like Tony can have an easy space to play. No, because it is great. But like when it's also different being managing a stream and playing a GM-less game
Yeah,
than it
yeah,
is
Yeah, I'm
exactly.
just
sure.
because I'm looking at 3 extra things that no one else has to worry about. No, it was great. I'm sorry, MB. Like I said, I interrupted. Did you have any questions?
Oh, I have this easy question of like, what maybe is your? Do you have a favorite out of the pillars or playbooks? What was your maybe most interesting to sort of think about and explore? Maybe something.
Probably what ended up being playbook is probably the Scoundrel, just because like out of the ones that I've written, just because I feel like that does like it was like definitely my favorite when I released the first edition.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I feel like that did the coolest stuff with moves. Like I'm still just obsessed with all of the question moves there. Like what would player character do in this situation? Who here hates my guts?
I loved who here hates my guts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's though my favorites like emotional attachment wise are definitely the Ace and the Defector, because I just love Finn and Poe and no one else.
I love it. Awesome. I had a blast. I deeply enjoyed playing. Like I said, I was managing a lot of stuff at the same time. And like a couple of my things were like, man, I wish either mirror board, or actually I was even thinking if you ever do a print version of this, like putting together some cards where it's like, here is a like card that has all the different locations on it and some of the questions. Like just pick the 2 things you want, being able to put them out on boards and letting people like basically like put together missions, NPCs, and other stuff in some detached way could be really cool. But that's also
like
just
a cork board.
Yeah, it's just been a design thing I've been working on a lot lately. But I love index cards on a table. I love like being able to fiddle around with stuff. I love the like things which you can't do on the internet as easily. But
yeah, that's definitely the idea with like traits where you make a
Yeah.
little index card of an NPC, which I should shout out Wander Home by J Dragon, because that's where I got like the idea. Like I changed them a bit, like I added a bunch more token stuff, but like the ideas for traits and places both come from Wander Home, and it rules, and you should check it out.
Yeah, no, it is, and we have a stream of it already. I've got a review of it coming up. Wonder Home is phenomenal, and the thing I love watching to see like the little things that people or big things people do with belonging outside belonging games to make them their own and make them match the stories. And I love the character playbooks you wrote. Like it was even one of the conversations before, like there's been so many fun character playbooks and other content that's come out for this. There's also, but the core ones are so amazing, and the pillars are so good and so rich from the get-go. And I actually think like my big question is, like you said, you didn't expect people to want to like hack your game or make content for it or anything else like that, while being totally open to it, and people should go check out hashtag G2EJam, I think is what we're promoting, right? And so there's tons of cool stuff that's been put up. I played I think we had 3 people who ended up playing things that are going to be like third-party content. If somebody's thinking about creating in the space of the game that you've made, what might be some advice that you would give them about how to think about either playbooks or pillars, which I think are some of the most complex thing. But I think like watching what people are doing with locations and some other things, there's a lot of little things you can add to this. So if you're somebody looking to dip your toe in, I'd really encourage you pick up a copy of this game and make something small for it, right? Like it doesn't have to be big. Yeah. But what's some advice you might give people who are thinking about creating in the space of your game?
Yeah, that's actually, it's been really interesting seeing like the way that people have done like moves, especially because it's made me realize like what my philosophy, because like I've talked a lot, like the token economy in Galactic is like my baby. So like I have already talked and thought a lot about it, but it was still really interesting seeing the way that people did moves. Just because like there were some I feel like were genuinely misinterpretations of what they're supposed to be like some like I've seen some moves like this is not like a judgment on anyone who's
it's me
it.
It's my all my moves. That's what
yeah all of Tony's were terrible. I just don't do that. No, but like kind of misinterpreting the way that tokens work, because like the main thing that I want that is in is like when you give a token, that should be like giving someone the spotlight. When you take a token, that should be like taking that spotlight, that momentum for yourself. And I think that's kind of a big thing. Like when you make a move, you always want to be thinking like, okay, who here is going to have a spotlight after this? Like I'm trying to remember a specific example where I was like, no, that should go the other way. But I can't think of anything at the moment.
Go ahead.
The interesting in Tony is then it kind of breaks the system, but I still loved it. That I'm taking a token when I'm off screen, but I'm not in the spotlight at the same time. Which
I mean I think like that works.
Yeah, but it breaks in an interesting, like cool way.
Yeah. I guess the other thing I should say about moves is that like especially for things that aren't player characters, but even with something like that move, vulnerable moves where you gain a token, those are all about kind of establishing yourself in the scene. So like if you look at most of the traits, they have gain a token moves that are like really basic stuff. Like the cynical trait is roll your eyes and gain a token. The awkward trait is try your best and gain a token. And like a lot of them are stuff like that. And I had a lot of fun writing those. And the reason they are is because it's not about like doing some big thing, because like this is just an NPC. This should be like something that says, oh, this person is there and they're rolling their eyes at you. And then later you can use that token to have them do something. So it's kind of that push and pull between like, and that's especially one of the earliest pillar moves that I wrote was the mandate, foreshadow a greater threat and gain a token. And I really like that one because it kind of says like, oh, the mandates, they're doing something. And then you can use that to later be like, this is the thing that they did. Yeah. And now you're in danger or whatever.
The mandate really like from a I think in belonging outside belonging games, a lot of my experience, which is only 4 games, like which there are more of than that, so I could be 100% wrong, as well as not ever having played the game that started it all. So like I'll totally take that I may be 100% off here, but like a lot of times the question, especially in the GMless mode, is how do you create stakes, because no one feels comfortable taking control in a way that oftentimes might be seen as threatening or detrimental. And I think as in a collaborative space, that can be one of the hardest things to do. But the way you've written the mandate, and it's not, there are other great ones that do this, but the way you've written the mandate uniquely, I feel like, or maybe is exemplarily in a really dang good way, highlights like No, like here's the thing you do to both advance the story, create stakes, and move things forward. And the mandate's written in a really clean way as a pillar that does that. Like, it's very obvious. And then scum and villainy is a great middle ground for just adding in
introduce or
complications.
betray.
Yeah,
Like,
and so
we had so many betrayals, like in one.
You love to see it.
yeah, it's like just betrayal after betrayal. No, I thought it was an absolute blast. And that's like, it's interesting hearing you talk about the design side of things, because like I wrote a class that was like, just give away the scene. Like you get stuff
Yeah.
when you're not the focus, because it was inspired by like Chewbacca, R2D2, and all those other characters who everyone loves, but also never get credit. Like I was 100% just thinking about Chewbacca not getting a gold medal on the original one the entire time. Like, like that's the thing. And I originally, I think, had like, you wish people would take notice of your things, but they don't. And I took it out because it doesn't actually make sense with the character. The character is always there, always doing things. And then other people might get credit for it because they're at the center of it, but they're the thing. And it's always like, just give away the scene, give away the scene, give away the scene, because it's the hardest thing for me to do as a player, like also too. And so it's like from a design space, I like to force myself into that. But like, I love that articulation of that. I think the lateral moves also were the thing that when I was writing, I struggled with the most. So give me a little insight. Like when people want to create a good lateral move, right? You mentioned that kind of setting them up for success. What are some of the, like kind of the ways that you did that with some of the other ones, or that you've seen people do in really creative ways?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to think of anyone else's, not because they're not good, but just because they're not in my brain as much. But the big thing, like lateral moves were kind of the newest. Like literally when I started writing the Galactic 2E, which I did not know was going to be the thing that it was at the time. I think that I had woken up and couldn't go back to sleep at like 4 a.m. or whatever. I just took out my phone and I was like, I'm gonna try to revise Galactic, and I just went to, I think, the ace, and I just took one of the strong moves and I did a little enter, and then I wrote and give them a token. And that's how it started. That's the lore. So I think the big thing with lateral moves is that it should be something that you are doing that sets someone else to do something, and like that's kind of the implication. And I think I did a thread a while ago before I published Galactic 2E about kind of the philosophy with tokens, which fits a lot into this, which is about that spotlight thing. So like there are lateral moves where it's like hurt someone and give them a token, and there are lateral moves that are like heal someone and give them a token. And that doesn't really make sense if you're thinking about tokens as any kind of like actual resource that your character has, because like why would those both, I can just endlessly get hurt and healed and I have infinite tokens, haha, I win. But the point of that in the game is that like when you use your I hurt you and give you a token move, then that's saying, okay, now you're hurt, what do you do about it? Whereas if you do your I heal you and give you a token move, then you're saying, okay, you were hurt and now you're healed, what can you do now that you're healed? So it's all kind of about like that, like a lot of it is really about like momentum and like moving the story forward, because that's kind of a thing that's been really hard for me playing BOB. Is like once you make characters, it's like, okay, haha, and then what? So I guess also like a wider thing with that, with lateral moves and with pillars having moves and NPCs having moves, is like I really wanted a bunch of different ways that you can get tokens, because this is also a thing I talked about in my big token economy thread. But in BOB, like in the traditional kind of game, you really only have take token moves and spend token moves. And what that means is the only way for anything to really happen is for your character specifically to do something either, like dangerous or stupid or whatever at that very moment. And sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes, your character's fine and you're like, what if some horrible empire came and ruined it instead? And like I said in that thread, like it's very much purposeful in Dream Apart, Dream Askew for that to be the case, because it's all about like these insular communities where like individuals are kind of doing this stuff. But like obviously that doesn't work in Star Wars, because you're fighting an empire and you're part of, you're contracting with criminals, etc., etc. So like a big thing I wanted was like not only for your own characters to cause problems, but also everyone else to cause problems. maximum problem kind of game.
Maximum problems, maximum tokens.
We had a lot of problems, so it worked.
Well, this game definitely lent itself to like, okay, like I want to screw it up again. Like that was like one of my favorite things about this, which does make, I think one of the other things it does is it makes the world feel big and your characters feel small, which even though they might be powerful actors on the scene, which I feel like it still keeps that, like you get a sense of kind of an expansiveness as opposed to like Wander Home, which is intentionally like the world is big, but we're also only in this corner of it. And this is the entire reality. And like we, even as small creatures, fill these small spaces we're in as we're discovering wonder. Like because of the amount of token economy and because of the way you did the pillars, it makes the universe feel big because you perceive all these acting forces outside of that. Like I said, it's been really cool to see what different people do with that system, and I feel like Galactic 2E did a really phenomenal job of like bringing in that feel and that flavor. Just kick it out, MV. Aaron, any final questions before we kick off?
Well, I had a question about the token economy. I don't know if you covered this in your thread, but I'm curious. You remove lures from characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're talking about like classic, like Dream Askew, Dream Apart, like the other way that you get tokens is to like activate lures for other characters, right? It's not just about like doing something vulnerable. It's about activating the lures as well. So I guess philosophically, and I wonder whether like the economically whether that doesn't is not needed as much, because like what you mentioned is that you have your pillars gaining tokens as well, so you're getting tokens into the economy in a different way, and then philosophically, like what you mentioned, like it makes it feel like there's more outside pressures acting on your characters rather than your characters themselves purely driving things, which is an interesting like dichotomy with the dream apart, dream askew, because those ones the setting elements never need to use moves, so they can always just like the way you treat them is different, right?
Yeah,
like they are always there to like they can always bring in complication or opportunity at any time, whereas here the pillars have to interact with the token economy as well, and you're kind of like very motivated to like pick up the pillars and like generate some tokens so that you can push them back onto the characters. So that's a very different mode. So I'm wondering about like the difference in the philosophy behind how you run the pillars versus how you run like classic like setting elements in BOB.
Yeah, okay, so that's kind of two different things. The first one is
Yeah.
so lures. Yeah, I did talk about them in the thread. I didn't mention it there, but yeah, that's also so one, I'll talk about my problem with lures in original BOB, which is they are a thing where the people who use them are the only person who sees it is the person who can't use it. So that's kind of not super great, just like information kind of design. Also they always felt really specific to me in a way where like, you know, I like obviously I'm sure that I've used a lure or two in BOB, but like they never really felt as substantial as moves, anything else for me in the game. So, and the second thing about lures is that actually in original Galactic, I got rid of lures for characters also, and they were moved onto the setting elements. And then basically when I made that change from Galactic First Edition to Galactic Second Edition, I changed each of those lures. They still exist. They were just turned into one of the moves that that pillar now has. So like basically like the lures still exist. They are just lateral moves instead, which I like better because it like lets characters kind of interact and give each other tokens, but in a more literal way for mine. But also the people who are actually doing the action get to see it, which is nice. Second thing was about, what was the second thing?
I guess the difference in philosophy between like pillars and setting elements, because they are encouraged to be a lot more active, to like participate in the economy, and like you know when where people are picking them up. Like the like what you mentioned, Tony, where like you're playing setting elements in other BOBs, you might like hesitate a little before you bring in a hard move, because one, it's free, and the only reason you bring in a move from a setting element is to drive like fiction forward. Like there's no mechanical benefit for doing so, whereas in Galactic there is. So it brings the pillars a lot more like I'll mention, like I had a lot more fun playing pillars in this game than in a lot of like other like setting element stuff. Like it's just like because you're engaging with like a token economy, you're engaging that mechanical part as well. So how does that kind of like influence the way you design them, and how they fit into like the greater like feel of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think you basically, got it already. Like it kind of goes back to also like me even like when I wrote my first BOB game Venture, I was just like, regular moves, they're out. I hate them. Because like, I learned after that there are people who really like regular moves because they kind of give themselves like kind of role playing advice for like how to generally play the character. But for me, I'm looking at that and I'm like, these don't give me anything. What is the point of them? Because like I really like everything in a game to be directly feeding into kind of like that core loop, the token economy, whatever. So that's kind of why I got rid of those, and that's why instead I have lateral moves, because like those are engaging with the tokens. And so the same thing with pillars, basically. Like I totally agree that like when I play BOB games, I very, very rarely, like we really don't use setting elements a ton, because like they're very cool to set up. You love to pick those desires and stuff and be like, oh wow, this is a really interesting world building. But it's hard to ever do anything because they just don't feel like they have as much of a mechanical impact as other kinds of moves. So like definitely what I wanted to do is like what I said before, with like also wanting people to have more options for how to get tokens, and it's not just about like doing things specifically about like with your character. It can also be about these outside threats, or Deus Ex Machinas or whatever. It's also about like letting yourself play those playbooks, or like the not playbooks, play those like elements of the setting, one might say, and like letting them interact, because things in a game, at least to me, like things feel like they can interact more when you have a mechanical thing to do.
I had a blast. I also love, like you have mentioned, you can play this GM-less. You certainly could throw a GM in the mix to help facilitate things, keep things moving. You can also play as pillars and not as playbooks, and just control the forces and do other things. There's a lot of different ways you could approach the game that are really, really interesting. If people haven't played a Belonging Outside Belonging game, I would highly encourage you to pick any one of them. And I think this one's a great place to start. I'll remind you again, the links right below Riley's face, and we'll also take you to all of her other games. So just like, check it out if you have not yet. Also, we'll make sure to link to the Galactic 2E Jam also, so you can go check out all the different playbooks that are out there. I played The Elder, which is by Jeff Stormer, that's just phenomenal, which even just some of the questions I made in that created a lot of the tension for how things shaped out in connection to the past from Riley's character and where everybody else was at. And it's an amazing way to explore different aspects, and it's great to see what other people are doing with it. But it only happened because Riley was like, I'm going to make this, and then I'm going to make another better version of it. So Riley, thank you so much, not only for coming on and playing with us today, but for making this great game. If, by the way, anyone out there wants to support us, go become a content champion. You can go to coffee.com/+1exp. If you're watching on Twitch right now, click down below. If you're watching on YouTube later on, I'll probably have linked it, but maybe I won't. The URL is on the screen. And that's not because I don't want your support. It's just because sometimes I forget. Also, this Friday, we are going to be playing a great Noble Bright intro RPG. If you're looking to get younger kids into RPGs, playing with kids as low as 3, I've heard of playing this game, but more commonly like elementary school to upper elementary school. As well as adults, we're going to be playing Altera Age of Adventure with Age of Exploration with Paris Danforth, the creator. So please come back and join us for that. I'm very, very excited to be able to sit down and play that. Again, here at Plus One EXP, you can find us at plus1exp.com. Across all social media platforms or at plus1exp.com. You can find our games, the other stuff that we do, and then link out to all kinds of other things. But until next time, we're all just going to wave at the screen until I take us off the air.